Welcome to another edition of Against the Grain Sports Podcast, Uncut. And I'm your host, Jody Coleman. And we got my man, Jarrell, Solo on Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. What's good, my boy?
I'm doing good, man. Football's over, but we got plenty of sports to talk about. That's for damn sure.
Hey, for sure, man. We got the Super Bowl out the way. The NFL season is officially over, man. It's crazy work, man, but it was a hell of a season. So we got some college basketball. We got a top 10 matchup between the Wildcats 23-0 going against the number 9 Kansas Jayhawks led by Darren Peterson. We'll talk about that. That's the college game of the night. We got some NBA, some really good NBA games. And I'll talk about a few things that's in the sports world. Deshaun Watson had 2 of his suits that were dropped. We'll talk about that because we always talk about when he was accused, but we never get an opportunity when stuff is not actually going in the direction as far as negativity. We need to let everybody know that that is out of the water. And we'll talk about some college basketball bubble teams and stuff like that. We got my man Michael, the people Sam in the building. What's good, my boy?
I just doing my business, representing the people.
What's good, big dog?
Just enjoying a nice cup of this royal juice, and it's across my shirt. I mean, Super Bowl champions, quarterbacks that were thrown away that are now stand at the top of the mountain ahead of the rest of the peers in his draft class.
We can't see your shirt. We can't see your shirt, Mike.
Well, I'll help you out.
Okay.
How's that?
That's Sam Darnold.
There you go. Well, you got the game winning Super Bowl.
It's real easy. Hey, it's real easy. It's real easy to be a front runner and say something after the fact, but it's crazy work though. Like it's easy to be like, well, I knew Sam Darnold was going to be good after he goes and throw a pass, but when he was in New York, when he was in another teams, when nobody talking about him. But
brother,
I love front runners. I like to predict things and stick with it. That's just me though.
All I can say is lonely is the head that wears the crown. There's always going to be people throwing stones at you, but nothing can separate me and Sam from enjoying our moment that we've been through together for these last 2 very trying seasons.
That ain't even your quarterback. I think that's my issue. My issue, like you're up here, it's like I said, it's easy to be a front runner. It's easy to jump on the bandwagon after if the wagon is already moving.
Now,
what's up, Donald, the voice of the youth? What's going on, nephew?
What's going on, man?
Last week, you just gave me credit for identifying Sam Darnold first, and that I've stuck with him through last season and then going into this season, and me wanting him being the people's champ, comeback player of the year last year. And do I get the credit or don't I get the credit? Does my credit always have to move, or can we just say,
I said,
the people's champ was on to something and it worked out and celebrate Sam Darnold?
You did not say that before he got to Minnesota. You was not talking about this when he was playing as a backup with the 49ers or Carolina or the Jets. You didn't say that.
I can only talk about the news.
You didn't even say that when he got to Minnesota. But you didn't even say it when he got to Minnesota because he wasn't even supposed to be the starter. But what's up, nephew? What's going on?
Has Sam Darnold been a topic of conversation on this show for the last 2 years, brought up by myself consistently?
Yes, we've talked a lot of Sam Darnold on this show, a lot of it.
Okay, thank you. All right, that's all I want to know.
After he became the quarterback of Minnesota, you didn't bring him up, and the show was on before he was a starter at Minnesota. Never made mention ever since I've known you about any Sam Darnold information. You never said anything.
When the news cycle became Sam Darnold, some people took it one way and some people took it another way.
Donald, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. That's why I was doing that. I couldn't hear you at first. I can hear you.
No. Nah. Oh, go ahead. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling all right, man. I'm hey, my Buccaneers, it's a new season. It's time we need to get moving.
Don, y'all undefeated, right, dog?
We undefeated. It's a new season.
The Browns are in first place as we speak, baby. The Browns are in first place.
But they also in last. We in first and we also in last. That's the
Oh man.
Ooh, new season, man. Get that over with.
That's crazy work, man. But we got a great show for everybody today.
Yeah, the Super Bowl yesterday. What do you guys think, man? It was a pretty interesting game. Kind of slow in the first half. Of course, we all know the second half picked up. Mike, what do you think? What do you think we saw the game yesterday?
Hold on just a second. Hold on.
Both defenses came out.
Hold on, Mike.
Hold on, Mike. Can you hear me? Can Mike hear me?
Yeah.
Mike can't hear me.
I can't hear Jody, but I'll log out and come back in.
Tell him go back out and come back in.
Yep.
You, Donald,
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but real quick, Eagles Philly said, good evening, good brothers. Keep doing your thing. Stay safe and stay blessed. Congratulations to the Super Bowl champs, Seattle Seahawks, with the 12th. I'm so happy for all on beating the cheating ass Patriots. Y'all broke up the relationship between Carly B and Stephon Diggs. I don't know if he did that, but yeah, let's get right to it, man. Now that we got everything situated, let's talk about the Super Bowl. We can go to Mike first. The Super Bowl. New England loses. Seattle wins 29-13. MVP running back Kenneth Walker III, 135 yards rushing, 26 yards receiving. Mike, talk to me about this game right here.
I think we got the defensive matchup we all kind of thought we were going to get. We knew that the Patriots defense would come into play. We knew that Seattle's defense was going to come into play for sure. And Drake May just didn't have enough bullets in his arsenal. He looked like the stage was too big for him. He looked like I had questioned along the way. I questioned Drake May's throwing motion and just said I really wasn't a fan of it. Just seemed like his arm strength, just something about it's not there, but he had a great season. So I relented. But in the playoffs, it's kind of back to you can't make late reads. You can't miss open receivers. The NFL is you got a one-shot deal at it. So when Hooper drug over the top and he was wide open, they were coming out the end zone, that probably was the play of the game. Because had he connected on that could have changed the momentum. Stephon Diggs wasn't a factor. Nothing on their offense really clicked for them. And then Seattle played a clean game. They didn't have any turnovers. They got a one passing TD and a bunch, one rushing TD and a bunch of field goals. They scored every way possible. And I will say this, had New England been capable of scoring more touchdowns while Seattle was kicking field goals, they might have won that championship. But when your inability to score touchdowns impacts winning all the time.
Yeah, but both of them scored the same amount of touchdowns in that game. Larry, what's up, Larry? He said the game was slow as hell. Eagles Philly said he would have had 300 yards rushing if it wasn't for that penalty, but it was a penalty. And he said it wasn't for the New England Patriot defensive back Christian Gonzalez. Score would have been 28-0.5. He made probably the best play I've seen with that diving block on Shakir, and then he made another one against Jackson Smith and Jigna that stopped 2 touchdowns. Age in the bed. What's up, fam? Age just said what's up to the family. So, what did you take away from this game right here?
It was like Mike said, it was a good defensive game in the first half. Seattle played the game close to the vest. They knew they were a better team than New England. They didn't have to take too many risks. Their running game was on point yesterday. I tell you what, if Kenneth Walker didn't get 100 yards yesterday, we might have had our first field goal kicker win the Super Bowl MVP. Let's just put that out there. If he wouldn't have got 100 yards, there's a good chance that field goal kicker would have got the MVP because he kicked 5 field goals. You can say they weren't long field goals; they still counted as points. in the game. But fourth quarter was a little bit exciting. But Joe, you're gonna like this. They're making so many excuses for Drake May. Drake May has not played well the entire playoffs. He hasn't. He's got lucky every week. But this week there was no snowstorm to save his ass. He had to go play quarterback, and he struggled. And they were saying, "Oh, the offensive line has been bad forever." So now they're saying, he's young, okay, and they make excuses for this guy. He played bad yesterday. The offensive line didn't do their part. He was throwing. He should have thrown more interceptions than he actually did. But shout out New England, they got to this point. But we all know what they're going to be looking for in the draft. That's probably offensive line help and probably some more wide receivers to help him out. But nice run for them to make the Super Bowl. But the better team won, and congratulations to Sam Darnold and the Seattle Seahawks.
You know that the kid Campbell was their first round draft pick.
They were cooking his ass.
That's crazy. Will Campbell had a tough going. He the guy that got beat for 5 sacks against Myles Garrett, so that's crazy work. Donald, what did you take away from this game, man? Super Bowl 29-13. Kenneth Walker, MVP. I think I called it 38-13, so I was off just slightly on the score, man. What do you think about that, Donald?
They messed up my score too. I said 31-7. They get a garbage touchdown in the end. But same thing like I've been saying all week. The Patriots didn't have a chance. I mean, I can't say they didn't supposed to be there because they got there. They did win, but like I've been saying the whole time, Drake May has been like, this is the worst quarterback I've ever seen going to the Super Bowl. He had a terrible all 4 games. Hopefully he can get better because he's still young. He just looked bad. And then sometimes when the other team's not giving you the ball back, I think Seattle understood. Like Drake May can't beat us. All we have to do is not give him the ball. Our team's been giving him the ball to get to the Super Bowl. So they've been winning to get there. But like I said, the quarterback, they get wins and losses by their name, but they haven't been. They didn't get to the Super Bowl. All them. We had a phenomenal regular season, but the defense got them here. But if they're not giving them the ball back there, they just don't understand the things.
This game was one of the most conservative games, but I guess if you're going to be conservative, be in the Super Bowl. Because like you just said, Donald, Drake May was not going to beat that Seattle defense. Sam Darnold win the Super Bowl, and he gets all the credit in the world for being a Super Bowl winner, but he was late on so many passes. If he played against a better team, this could have been a different outcome because he was so late on so many passes. He missed Jackson Smith and Jigma, who would have walked into the fucking end zone. He missed him by like 3 to 4 yards. I'm like, he complete that. It was nobody that would have stopped Jackson Smith and Jigma. That would have been a 90-yard touchdown, but he missed that one. And I think them kicking field goals was exactly what Donald said. Let's kick field goals. Let's be conservative because they got in the red zone, which I think Seattle has a really good red zone offense. And they got completely conservative and was okay with the 3 points. So in this game, Sam Darnold was 19 for 38, 202 yards, 1 touchdown. But one thing I was very impressed with Sam Darnold, he had 0 interceptions throughout the playoffs. So 3 playoff games, he had 0 interceptions. It's hard to beat a team when you don't turn the ball over. And I think their team only had like 3 penalties throughout the game, which one of them was on the run with Kenneth Walker. The game was already out of reach. Cooper Kupp has 6 catches for 101 yards, but this defensive performance was one for the ages. Ernest Jones, he had 11 tackles. I don't know what's that feedback right there?
I don't know what that is.
Witherspoon had 4 tackles, a sack. I thought Derek Hall should have got the MVP. He had 2 sacks. He got things going. Byron Murphy had 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, a forced fumble. The guy Inikwe, I believe that's his name. He had a pick 6, 45-yard interception off of the forced interception from Denver Witherspoon. The defense had 6 sacks, 2 interceptions, 3 turnovers, 1 touchdown, and only gave up 13 points in the game. That was crazy work, man. I'm agreeing with Donald. Sometimes it just happens that way where Sam Darnold was at the right place at the right time. He went against a New England Patriot team. We've seen a lot of quarterbacks go to the Super Bowl in year 2. We've seen Dan Marino. He never went back. Joe Burrow went in his 2nd year. He hasn't been back yet. So I hate when people say they're young and they'll get back. It's no guarantee you're going to get back. Is that correct, so?
No, you are 100% right on that, brother. The NFL window closes every year. You don't know if it's ever going to be open again. Now, how many people have the career that Tom Brady and some of these quarterbacks that went to multiple Super Bowls? That's not common. So Don't assume just because the guy's young, you get old real fast in the NFL. You age in dog years at every position in the NFL. That's for damn sure.
Real quick, man, Mike. The question is? Larry said, "What did you think about the halftime show, Mike? What did you think about that?"
I didn't watch the halftime show. I think my biggest thing is if I can't understand what the person is saying, I'm not going to subject myself to a whole halftime show or some shit that I can't. I mean, I can speak Spanish, but like picking up the song and the lyrics and all of that, it wasn't for me. I mean, anybody that wanted to watch it, it was fine for me, but I wasn't going to watch that. I'm an American and I like English.
So, what did you think about the halftime show?
God damn. It was fine to me, man. It was entertainment. Hell, I can't understand a lot of rappers sometimes when they rap. I don't understand what the fuck they're saying, but I watch it. I like the show of it. Of course, I like the females dancing. That's always something good to look at. So, yeah, I enjoyed the show. You're right, Mike. I didn't understand what he was saying either, but 20 minutes. It's all good. Get back to the game. People talk about this way too much, man.
Because a lot of people, they watched it because of it. Me personally, I got to go ahead and give a confession out here. I have never watched the halftime show. I have never, and I watched
never.
I have never. I've seen highlights of a halftime show, but I've never watched it. I'm not a music person. If anybody really know me, they know I'm not really big on music. If you go to my playlist, I got shit from the 80s and 90s that I listen to when I go work out. It's a couple new people that I like, but I've been a sports guy my whole life. So when the halftime show come, that's not what I'm looking for. I did look at some things because I kind of had muted my TV, and it wasn't because of him. I don't give a fuck if it would have been Usher. I didn't listen to him. It's nothing against anybody that do music. I'm just giving the visual was outstanding.
That's what I'm saying.
But far as me, and I got to keep it real, I never watch a halftime show, so I don't care. I don't care who's on there. I don't care. Like, I'm not a music guy. Jason's a music guy. My little brother's a music guy. Ray's big on music. I'm not. I'm all about sports, and I could care less about any halftime performance. Donna, what did you think about the halftime performance?
Oh no, I won't be watching that.
See, it's just like me.
It's a football game. They're not about to watch nobody who I don't know what they're talking about. And then people keep talking about, well, it went over your head. It's not about this, this, and this. Listen, my thing is, when it goes to commercial break, it says stay tuned for your halftime entertainment. I want to be entertained, not get a history lesson on a protest. Go outside and do that. I don't know, but it says halftime entertainment, so you can't say, "Oh, you're not getting the message and what it's about." It's for entertainment. I'm not entertained.
It does seem like every time we look up, it's a political statement that's being made, and I'm like, I don't ever watch it. Like, no disrespect, I didn't watch Kendrick Lamar last year. I didn't watch Usher. I didn't watch, like, normally I'm out doing something. And now that we got Against the Grain Sports, I'm out here posting on the page to get updates. I'm going to be real, Mike, and I'm going to go back to you before we go to the next side. I'm going to be real. I want to see some analysis from like, we didn't get any analysis from, like, when I watch a halftime show, I want to see what we looking for in the second half, not a music. And so it's no disrespect. Anybody out here, I don't want nobody like, oh, Jody, no disrespect. I just want analysis. When I watch sports, I want to see sports. Mike, what did you think about that?
You wasn't making no macaroni and cheese during the halftime.
Listen. That's for
it's confession time.
That's another topic for another day. But seriously, Mike, what did you like? I'm a sports guy, and like Donald said, they're always trying to make a political statement for some odd reason. Like, why do they take football? Y'all don't do that at anything else. Y'all don't do it at the Oscars. Why don't y'all do a statement about music at the Oscars? What do you think about that, Mike?
I just think, life is a cycle, and I think we've just moved too far away from keeping the main thing the main thing. You have a halftime show. It should be entertaining. It should be entertaining to the masses of people that actually support the NFL, right? That's where I would start my marketing campaign. I damn sure wouldn't have a halftime show that alienates a good percentage of my constituents and all that stuff. I could go into do metrics of it, but like you said, before this half starts, I'd like to hear the expert analysis to see if they seeing what I'm seeing and thinking what I'm thinking needs to happen in the second half. I mean, like, I pretty much understood that the game will open at some point. The game was going to open up because one team was going to have to start playing with some desperation and taking some chances, as opposed to both teams just kind of punch, counter punch, punch, counter punch, don't get blowed out, keep it close. And then in the latter half of the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, then the game kind of opened up and we were back to it. But it would have been nice to hear what the NFL guys would have had to say about that at some point during the halftime.
Okay. Well, there's one, since we are talking Black History Month, it is Black History Month. You can blame the great television show Living Color for halftime shows. No one gave a shit about halftime shows in the 70s and the 80s. But in the 90s, Living Color said, we're going to put our show on the same time the halftime for the Super Bowl is. I want to say it was Washington Buffalo in the early 90s. And that show got great ratings. The NFL said, oh, shit, we're missing the market. Next thing you know, they got Michael Jackson. They got U2. They got all these great groups on there because of Living Color. People don't talk about that. They're the reason why the halftime show is as big as it is now.
That's crazy. Eagles Philly said they should not. They should. The NFL should strip Jay-Z on having a halftime performance. Asia said that's because I was playing in my baby oil at halftime, and she said Mike, he was stirring it like coffee. Listen, I'm not about to get into all that shenanigans, but
there's only one other artist big enough to do it that's from our culture, and he's not gonna select him, so that's just that.
Well, the thing is though, bro, whether you like Bad Bunny or not, I'm not a fan of his music. I've never really listened to his music. The dudes get billions of streams. They got him on there because he's extremely popular. We might not listen to his music, but a lot of people do, and they got a lot of views on their halftime shows. That's why.
And I'm not so much against Jay-Z because if you look at his whole catalog of who he's had on there, he had Dr. Dre, he had Usher, he had Rihanna. So he's had a mix of artists. Yeah, he's got beef with Drake, so he goes with Kendrick Lamar. If you're into music like some of us are, you know what that was about. You know what this year's show was about. Next year it would be good, and I'll catch heat for this shit, but maybe a Jelly Roll or maybe my other guy, but some people that can give the other side of the world an opportunity to enjoy the fucking shit, and we can get on and get back to what we're supposed to be about, and that's the fucking game.
Can I keep it real, Donald? I'm gonna let you go real quick. Can I keep it real, Donald, real quick? The halftime show is extremely too long, and I'm surprised there's not more injuries because you got to go get rehydrated and re-stretched out. Pause.
Whoa.
For the second half. But I think the halftime show is really too long. It's a football game, but I understand NFL is for entertainment.
It's a show.
A lot of people that don't even watch the game; they only watching the halftime show. Go ahead.
That's the show.
Yeah, but I think a lot of our people, they want to see certain people, but they don't understand that just because we think they that big, they're not that big to the world. I don't think that a lot of people don't understand that. So you got to have somebody that's big enough for the world. I honestly think that I think Jay-Z's contract is up next year or the year. I honestly think that him and Beyonce is gonna do it the last year of his contract. But the one guy that he's refusing to put up there for his sick reasons to me, but it's Chris Brown. Breezy is the biggest in the country right now, and you got to put him up there to give the people a show if you want people to not bash you. You know, put whoever you want up there, but you got to go with the biggest star, man.
But you know he's got that beef with Chris Brown.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you should have let that beef go because what you was doing shouldn't have been done anyway, but that's another story.
Right. Eagles Philly said, shout out to Coco Jones for paying tribute to Whitney Houston. Eagles Philly said in Spanish music, I don't listen to that music. I listen to black hip hop and old school music and R&B music. Only I'm just keeping it real. I don't listen to really music like that at all. So I'm a football guy. I want to watch football. And like I said before I'm gonna let Mike get the final thought on this, but what I don't understand is y'all don't go protest at the Oscars, the Emmys. I don't see none of this protest. It's only at a game that y'all don't even, a lot of people that's protest don't even give a fuck about. Like football and like we got all these political stands on football and basketball because it's a big crowd. But I'm like, why don't y'all go to what people that like this particular, go to the, I've never seen anybody go to the Emmys and boycott the Emmys or do some stuff at the Emmys or the Oscars. And that's where the Tony Awards, go to those places. Stop coming over to where I'm looking at the game at, and I just want to enjoy the football game because y'all don't care nothing about none of the other games, none of the other playoff games. Y'all don't care about none of that shit. Y'all only care about the Super Bowl because y'all know it has a huge audience. There's no other sporting event going on while the Super Bowl is on. Go ahead, Mike.
I think I agree with you in part of some of this. They do protest at the Oscars, the Emmys. They say all kinds of crazy shit, you know, that they want to do at those events. Those events, I'm just calling it straight down the middle, are very left leaning. And hell, you know, it gets to being what it's going to be. But I don't need that in the middle of the Super Bowl. That's the point that I think that football people are like. You're hijacking a platform for your own well-being. Nobody even, and we haven't even talked about the other alternative halftime show that had Kid Rock and a couple country singers and whatnot that garnered about 6.8 million viewers, this damn stuff. So I was cool with people being able to go whatever corner they wanted to, but it's ridiculous that the sports world got hijacked by this ongoing bullshit for the last week and a half with this performer and the alternate show and Trump and all that stuff when, you know, go handle your business at the ballot box.
It's the country. That's what we got going on in the country, man. We're split down the middle on everything. We can't agree on nothing in this country now. That's why we have this type of situation. You think, oh, it's just a football game. Well, they're turning everything is turned political now, no matter what it is.
And what my last thing on this is that I think it's getting also coverage because a lot of people I know, nobody really cared about the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is got when your stars are not in it, a lot of people don't really care. A lot of people I was around and said like, get on the court. No, I don't even. They play the Patriots playing without Tom Brady, the Seahawks playing. We don't care. So NFL. Not saying y'all got to WWE it, but to get a lot of people to care more, you gotta have your stars in the limelight.
Hey, Donald, Patrick Mahomes would have never let no shit like that happen if he was in that.
Last time he was in the Super Bowl, he got his ass whooped.
Hey, it's cool, but he done won 3 though. He done won 3. He ain't gonna sit there and lay that fucking egg again.
Sam Darnold only 2 behind.
Yeah, he's still. That's a long way. That's a long way to go, especially when you're already in your 8th season. And Patrick Mahomes already in his 8th season.
Well, if they matter that much, he damn sure better than everybody he got drafted with.
I don't. We're not gonna let's talk about
that.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about it real quick. Hold on. We about to talk about. Hold on a sec. Hold on. Okay. Eagles Philly said, did y'all see the fan that ran on the field and one of the Seattle Seahawks players sucker punched the referee? That's when was fighting Stephon Diggs on the sideline. Yeah, I don't like to get into that stupid. I'm not gonna get that guy that ran on the field any kind of coverage because he did some bullshit. Because let that have been somebody else that had a different skin color, he would have got his ass whooped and probably shot. But I'm gonna leave that alone because he was unarmed. I'm gonna leave that alone. Since you want to do, everybody want to do a political statement. That was the political statement. Larry said Bad Bunny was a good pick. They trying to enhance the, with the consumers. And he said for his money, give him Taylor Swift next year. Let's talk about this real quick, and then we'll go to our NBA game of the night and our college basketball. Donald said you brought this up. You said so. Are you saying that Sam Darnold out of this class is the best quarterback because he was the first person to win the Super Bowl? Are you saying that?
No, I'm going to say absolutely not. I just be wanting to prove that winning only matters. Sometimes we want to say it. But if we go by the only thing that matters, like we say, is the wins and losses by his name. He got 4 playoff wins in the Super Bowl, and nobody else can say that if that's the most important thing. But he's there. But I'm not going to put him over Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. The Super Bowl don't matter that much. It only matters sometimes.
Let me ask you this, and I'm going to go around the horn. Let me ask you this. Do you think if Josh Allen would have played on 5 different teams by now, do you think that Josh Allen would have won a Super Bowl by now?
That don't mean I don't know. We don't know. Sam
Exactly.
Darnold have to.
You don't,
So
right?
now, so what you saying that though? What you're doing is it don't matter if Sam Darnold going to win 25 championships. Since he been on 5 teams, you've already discredited everything he can do in his
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because the reason why I'm not is because he's reminiscing of Rich Gannon. Rich Gannon did the same thing. What I'm saying is to sit up here
and win
and
no Super Bowl.
no, I'm just saying he went to a Super Bowl. What I'm saying is what we're trying to do is, and I'm gonna get to everybody on it. What we're trying to do is we're trying to say Sam Darnold got put in the perfect situation. It took him a long time before he was able to do this. And that's all I'm saying. And I'm not going to discredit what he did. He won the game. That's why I said at the beginning of the show, I said he won the game. He did just enough to win the game. So I'm not going to knock him, but I'm not going to say he's better than Josh Allen. And I'm not going to say he's better than Lamar Jackson just because he won a Super Bowl, because we know that Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl. And it's a lot of people. I don't put Troy Aikman over Dan Marino.
And that's all I'll be saying. The winning don't matter. The best team wins, not the best player. That's why a guy who wins a championship doesn't mean you're better than the next guy. The best team wins. I don't think Sam Darnold's a top 5 quarterback in the league, but you win a championship. And if the championship things make it's not no like in between. I believe it is or isn't. Does the Super Bowl mean that much? How much weight does it really hold if a guy can win a championship and he's still not that?
Yeah, I mean, you got an argument, but what I'm saying, he still has a long way to go to be that. And like I said, if you're going by wins and losses, he wasn't winning shit his first 6 years of his career. We can't discount him not doing shit his first 6 years. We can't keep doing that.
His win percentage is what, 59%, right? In his career. His win percentage is 59%, and he got what? If you count the playoffs, so he won what, 17 games this year, 13 last year. So he got 30 wins in the last 2 years. Who else can really say that?
Yeah, he got 30 wins.
If winning matters that much, I don't think it matters that much. I don't care if he goes 16-0, 17-0. He can't be better than Burrow, Mahomes, Jackson, or Allen. But if we're going to say it matters that much, he has to be up there.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Do you think that now Sam Darnold is the best quarterback out of that class?
No, in the NFL, and quarterback position is probably a unique position in any sport. Sam Darnold started off in a shit show with the Jets. The Jets have never done any real winning. So I don't think any of the quarterbacks that were in this class, they got drafted by the Jets. Probably would have went to the same thing, went to different teams, different coaches. That probably would have happened to any of these guys. Now, I'm giving him a pass, but the Jets, we're talking about the Jets, bro. We didn't expect him to do much. And he finally found a decent spot where he got some good coaching when he got to Minnesota. He got some good coaching, good weapons on the outside, and everything worked out for him there. And then now this year, he's in a perfect situation. Great defense. He don't have to throw for 300 or 400 yards, and he got him a damn Super Bowl. I think it really matters where you're at. Like Badano said, winning and losing is only a part of it, but you got to have the right situation. Without the right situation, you ain't going to win nothing. I don't give a damn how much talent you got.
Hold on. Before we go to Mike, I can't let you just slide with that. You named Minnesota and you named the Jets, but there was 2 other stops in between. He went to Carolina, he went to San Francisco, and couldn't beat out a quarterback that was the last pick of the NFL draft and Brock Purdy. Talk to me about that.
Well, Brock Purdy, what is your point, Jody? What are we trying to say? He didn't play bad. He didn't play bad in San Francisco because he didn't play at all.
That's my whole point.
Any playing time there. So I'm saying he's in a good situation in the last couple of years, and he shined. I mean, whether we love him or hate him or whatever we got to say about the guy, people are going to start forget. If he keeps winning, people are going to forget about that Jets, and they're going to blame that on the Jets, not on Sam Darnold.
And I get it, and that's probably what they're going to do, because now you got to come. People are trying to be so apologetic, but I'm not apologetic because he played bad regardless. You're the number 3 pick of the draft. You're supposed to elevate whatever team you go to. That's
but
why
the team got to help you, though, Joe. The team has to help you win. You can't win
that's what you
by yourself.
But don't you get drafted high for that? That's the reason why you get drafted high.
No,
right?
but they still got to get Jody. They can't ask you to make some goddamn lemonade. You ain't got no fucking lemons or a glass to put the lemonade in. You got to have something. And I'm pretty sure the Jets, you didn't have nothing with the Jets.
That's because Baker Mayfield went to Cleveland, and Cleveland was 1-31 when he took over the team in Cleveland, and he took them in 2 years to a playoff and won a playoff game. Come on, guys.
Everyone's situation is different. Cleveland actually has some players to work with.
I think these playoff wins are overrated. I just watched Drake May win 3 playoff games, and he played worse than me. So the playoff wins, you get the stat because the team is winning the game, but you played awful in all 3 games. You look like you don't belong out there.
I'm gonna say this. I'm about to get the mic. I'm gonna say this, Donald. If it was so easy, why like guys like CJ Stroud, guys like Baker Mayfield, the team was fucking completely ass and couldn't get out of fucking their own way. And then as soon as they're the quarterback of the team, they change the culture. Why is that?
First of all, CJ Stroud has the best defense around.
Not when he first got there, Donald.
Okay,
he took
cool.
over a
That's
2-14 team.
He won a playoff game. Winning is overrated when you talk about individuals who are better. The best teams win. Drake May just went to a Super Bowl. And played like flat out ass the whole way there. Sam Darnold, I don't know. I thought Super Bowls were important, but for some reason, when he wins it, he can't still be crowned. He's in the right situation.
He's not going to be the best.
The Super Bowl.
He's not going to be the best, but I'm not saying he's still the best, but I'm going to say that he's up there. He's the top 10 quarterback for sure. Just like when Jalen Hurts got in there, he's the top 10 quarterback. Yeah.
This what I'm at. I think Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold about the same. They both got good situations, but they both give them their ass. I don't think neither one of them are that good. That's just me. Now you win because you're on the best team. I think it's guys way better than both of them, but they don't win championships. So winning is a team thing. It don't matter who was on your team. You're not going to win.
I get what you're saying, Donald, but the only person that got wins and losses by their name is a quarterback.
And it's a lie. It's a lie. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a myth.
Okay, Mike, what do you think? Is now Sam Darnold the best quarterback in the NFL?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's not even a question.
So he's better than Patrick Mahomes, even though Patrick Mahomes got three Super Bowls.
To the victors go the spoils. Your best ability is your availability. So now we're going to get into it. Now that I've heard all the rest, now you can hear from the best.
I haven't. You're right. I'm to the last.
Here we go. Donald made a great point that he wants to make a point and then take away the point. I believe you just said that in the past 2 seasons, Sam Darnold is like 30-5.
30, something like that, 30-5, 30-7, something like that. I know he got like 30 wins in the last
30. He's 30-6.
30-6. What quarterback has a better winning percentage than Sam Darnold over these last 2 seasons?
Nobody.
Not 1, 2.
No,
okay?
Nobody.
And then he didn't play in the same system for the back-to-back years because Minnesota, as I heard, was making an upgrade to go with a guy who was the best handoff quarterback I've ever seen in college football. And that he was going to make Sam Darnold be nothing as a replacement. Because, see, Donald, what you don't seem to understand is these guys are not interchangeable, just plug and play at quarterback and the best team will win. No, some guys impact winning. Wonder how you impact winning? You do what Sam Darnold just did. You get in the playoffs and you don't turn the ball over not one single time. There were times where he could have took more chances. He could have been more aggressive. He could have been more greedy. He could have been less careful with the ball. But not making mistakes is just as much a skill as anything else. So, and then you say, okay, well, he's not a good. Okay, well, are you saying that Sam Darnold lacks arm talent? Are you saying that Sam Darnold is not mobile in the pipe? What are you saying about him that does not make him a top-tier quarterback?
I'm not saying he's not there. I'm saying he's not. I'm just saying he's not better than Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, or Josh Allen. That's all I'm saying. And he's one of the
So now you're just saying he's just not better than them, but he's more accomplished than they are in the sport, right? Right now,
not to me, because they won the MVP. The MVP is more than the Super Bowl to me.
So he's more accomplished. You think I can get to a Super Bowl with Joe Burrow? I can get to the NFC Championship with Jackson and Allen, but I can win a Super Bowl with Sam Darnold, Patrick Mahomes, the quarterback with the Rams, and Jalen Hurts. Those are the people right now that I know that I can win a Super Bowl with. Everybody else is speculative. Everyone else is speculative. And Sam Darnold just shattered the ceiling of what was said. It's not about how you start the race. It's how you finish the race. I don't care if you were with 7 girls before you got one off. By the time you got that last one off, that last one's going to talk about where you at now, not where you started busting in 2 minutes with the first girl that you was ever with. So longevity and consistency and growth matter way more than how you started, where you started. And at the end of the day, when you're drafted at number 3, the number 3 pick, you're expected to win a Super Bowl. Doesn't say which team you're supposed to win a Super Bowl with. It says you're supposed to win a Super Bowl, and Sam Darnold has done that.
I expected that. You think Aaron? You think I know you same person. You told me Troy Aikman was better than Aaron Rodgers, so I expected that.
This is the thing though. Nobody's knocking Sam Darnold for winning the Super Bowl. Nobody's doing it. This has always been my argument. We tend to be prisoners of the moment consistently. And we'll say, oh, Sam Darnold, because if Sam Darnold goes next year and lays an egg, which I don't think he will. I think he's very comfortable within his offense. I think he has a great team and great schematics that makes him successful. We're not gonna take that away. But it's just funny how we can just go and just erase 6 years of history like it's Thanos with the snap. And just be like, okay, just because the dude had 2 good years, now he's better than somebody that got a whole body of work. That's crazy. That's insane. That's insane to say something that you're going to take away somebody's whole body of work because of this particular season. And so I remember I asked you on the show with Jalen Hurts, the top 5 quarterback. You said no to him, but you're saying yes to you saying Sam Darnold's the best. It's almost like, what do we get out of you? Because you said 1 minute that Jalen Hurts.
I don't believe I ever said.
You never said Jalen Hurts was the best. You never said that. You just said Sam Darnold's the best quarterback.
But I did say Jalen Hurts was top 5.
Did you ever say Jalen Hurts was the best quarterback?
I was never asked that question.
But you never said it.
Well, last year he would have been.
But you never said it. You never.
But no one asked me the question. I didn't know.
You
just
never came out
answering questions that no one asked.
So the thing about it is,
top 5 quarterback.
Who?
Is Jalen Hurts? Mike, is Jalen Hurts top 5 quarterback?
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this: is Mahomes a top 5 quarterback?
Absolutely.
Is Joe Burrow top 5 quarterback?
No.
Okay. Well, hey, you know what? If we that far apart, we can't come to a happy medium. You know what? You're right. That's it.
Yeah.
Sound like the country.
It's crazy work. We know over the body of work, and that's why I say you put everything in a pot like gumbo. You don't just go and shoot from the hip. Super Bowl does matter. Winning does matter. Your ability does matter, and you put it in the pot and you stir it up. If you look at my top 10 quarterbacks of all time, a lot of them got a whole bunch of Super Bowls. But one of them is going to be in there, and I don't give a fuck who you are. It's probably going to be in everybody's top 5, top 10 is going to be Dan Marino. There's nobody that's not going to put fucking Dan Marino in and not put him. You telling me Dan Marino not in your top 10?
Well, Jody, I know it's a guy that's, if I say this name, is probably a curse word in your house. But John Elway, I know you hate that guy for many reasons because way he did your Browns. But he lost 4 Super Bowls or 3 Super Bowls before he finally won one.
3.
There's 3. So when you win like that, people tend to forget the bad stuff that you did. I mean, unless you're Michael Vick, he's gonna be a dog killer for the rest of his life. But I think the people forgot how bad John Elway teams played in those Super Bowls before he actually got it right late in his career. So can we erase the beginning of his career? Because people don't bring that up anymore. They just bring up the winning.
But he went to the Super Bowl, so we can't erase it. Coach Jones got on here, Khalid, he got on here. He said some people on here dogged Sam Darnold at the beginning of the season and said he wasn't that good. Only one person said that. It was so like don't say people. Nobody
I said that.
And I got documentation. I'm the only one on here that got documentation. And I put it in the group. And I could put it on a page. I'm the one that said they could win a Super Bowl back on June the 25th of last year. Go look on Against the Grain Sports, and I put it in the group. Am I lying? Am I lying, Mike? Did I not put on here that they can win the Super Bowl?
Here's the thing, Jody. This is where the people that watch our show, we got to give them some credence for what they see and what they hear. And what they have heard is me trumpeting Sam Darnold and your repeated talking about the 6 teams he played for.
I never said that. I talked about Daniel Jones. I'm not a Sam Darnold hater. I'm a Daniel Jones hater.
No, I'm talking about when we have this conversation, your talking points have been the same. Now, I'm not making it up. The guy that just said it, they're not.
He's not talking about me. He's talking about Soul.
So if you heard the things that you just said, if you hear the things that Soul says, if you hear the things that Donald says, here's the things that Ray says, and I'm the only person on here. You just said at the beginning of the show, "Oh, you're front running."
You never.
I've been consistently saying for 2 years
Okay,
that the man has played great quarterback.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask you this, Mike. Before he went to Minnesota, was you singing Sam Darnold's praises?
I thought Sam Darnold
I
played
didn't ask
really
that.
well
I
in
asked you a
San
question.
Francisco.
Before he got to Minnesota, was you
Yes.
singing Sam Darnold's praises?
Yes, because he played a couple games
right.
in San Francisco,
Okay.
and they won those games that he played. And I'm like, damn, Sam Darnold's playing good there. We never had him as a topic, or there was no reason to be talking about it. But when he went to Minnesota, I'm like, yo, it looked like to me he just kept doing what he had started doing in San Francisco. So you recognize these things. How did Sam Darnold play in San Francisco?
I don't remember, Mike, honestly. I don't know if he did play when he was there. Did Brock Purdy miss some games and he played?
Brock Purdy missed some games and he came in and he played pretty well.
Are you sure you're not confusing? You're not sure you're not getting your white quarterbacks confused? Maybe you think about Mac Jones.
No, Mac Jones.
He played well last year.
Because Brock Purdy didn't. This is the thing, and they even said it on the Super Bowl show before the game started. Coach, what's the coach with the 49ers? Because him and Fred Warner was on there. What's the coach? Shanahan. He said we never said he couldn't play. He never got on the field to play. But we knew him. They said we knew in practice that he was solid. Okay, this is my argument. I can put up here when we picked Minnesota. Donald, you weren't on the show yet, but you was commenting the year before when we were picking the NFC fucking North. Everybody put the Minnesota Vikings in last fucking place. Everybody, and I got the tape, Mike. Because the kid that died in the car accident, Jackson, the cornerback, he had died. And they didn't know, and J.J. McCarthy got hurt. And when everybody found out Sam Darnold was going to be the starting quarterback, everybody put Minnesota as the last place team, and I got the fucking tape on the show.
Who was the first person on this show to start talking about Sam Darnold
After
last
he
year
started
as
winning.
the comeback player of the year? Because y'all kept saying, well, what is he coming back for? He hasn't been hurt. He didn't do it. He's just playing really good in his 8th season and da-da-da-da-da. It was everything about everything, but Sam Darnold's playing pretty good in Minnesota. Oh, Sam Darnold's got them in first place. Oh, they're about to win the conference. Oh, they lost the conference. Oh, they're in the playoffs.
This is the thing, Mike. Everybody on the show, when they were going to put everybody said that Minnesota should have franchise tagged him. Like everybody, Ray, Soul, me, you, Mike, everybody said that Minnesota should have franchise tagged him. Nobody said that JJ McCarthy should have been the starter. Even though I wanted, I said the only reason I was like, if you do get rid of me, I understand because he's a top pick of the draft. You got to find out what you got. Everybody said Minnesota should have franchised him. Everybody. So why you keep saying it's just?
But now everybody was in on the fact that Sam Darnold was going to be great. Golly. Okay.
Nobody. You didn't even. I'm not gonna go back because you're gonna say what you. Nope. Did you say you think Sam Darnold was gonna be great when he was in San Francisco?
I thought Sam Darnold played great.
Did you think he was gonna be a great quarterback?
That he was a great quarterback, future great quarterback in this league, and it has played out as such. And I will stand on that. And you can play every episode of me talking about Sam Darnold and me getting feedback on why he's not good, what he did with the Jets, how many teams he played for, what kind of jock strap he's wearing, the whole thing. So you can't
talk about that.
Undo history and then do history at the same time. But hey, if you thought Sam Darnold was going to be great, I got a T-shirt right here for you.
I never thought
Get your size and you can wear it too.
I never thought he was going to be great. I'm gonna come out there and say I thought he was fucking absolutely garbage before he got to Minnesota. I thought he was ass. I want somebody to raise their hand and tell me that they knew that he was going to be in 2 years a Super Bowl champ. I want somebody to tell me 2 years after getting to Minnesota, he was going to be a Super Bowl champ when he wasn't even a starter. He was not even going to be the starter in Minnesota. If J.J. McCarthy don't get hurt, he's not even a fucking starter in Minnesota. Y'all need to stop this bullshit.
I agree. I thought he was ass. I speak on what he done and what now. I got to give him credit for who he is.
Yeah, I'm giving him exactly.
And I still don't think he's better than a lot of quarterbacks in the league. He just,
Chris,
like I said, the right situation. Anybody, listen, one thing about sports, the right system can turn a role player to a superstar.
Hey, Donald, are you able to, you've been a long time follower of the show, participant of the show, member of the show. Are you able, just like you said that he was trash and now he got good, are you able to say that I was the first person on this show to get on the Sam Darnold wagon and have been consistently pushing it since I got him?
I don't know. Well, I don't have factual information that you was first. I will say you have been consistently hollering. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. I'm not gonna say you first, and I can't get the exact information because I don't want to say nothing that's not accurate. But you have been on the Sam Darnold train.
He been on the Sam Darnold train after he started winning in Minnesota.
But I'm saying that's how you judge a person. Like if he was ass, that don't mean he's still ass because he's winning now. I personally live in the now. So that's why I be asking, how long do people's championships and stuff wear off? Because sometimes you be like, well, they won a Super Bowl. Well, he won that 12 years ago. That don't really, hey, what did you do lately? That's who he is now.
Right. Like I said, he's the Sam Darnold. I give him that, but I'm not gonna give him. He was singing Sam Darnold's praises before he started winning in Minnesota. Cool. That's all I'm saying.
He cool like a Troy Aikman. Cool.
Chris said that's true, Pops. The second you win, they forget all about the bad stuff. K. Jones said, Khalid said he defended him, which he did. Chris said people will be talking about Jim Kelly in a whole different manner if he would have won. My man James Frank said he said Njoku will not be back with the Browns. That's crazy work. And then Larry said we got receipts. And then James Frank said he one of the only ones I calls. I thought he was straight dog water. I'll give him his flowers. So everybody thought he was dog water. But anyway, let's keep it moving, man. Let's get to the NBA. We got some great NBA action tonight. We got two games, and the game of we're gonna talk about the first, and then we talk about the game of the night. And we got the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Nuggets. The Cavaliers look really good in the first James Harden sighting. He's pairing up with Donovan Mitchell. It looked like they may have some chemistry. I know it's only one game, but like Donald said, the big men are playing that much better, and it looked like Allen's playing really well right now. Donald, who you think wins this game?
And Denver. I think Denver might be the best team in the league right now.
Okay, right now.
I think Denver the best team right now. I think the playoffs start today. I think Denver is probably the best team in the NBA.
Okay, so who you got in this matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Denver Nuggets?
I'm gonna go with the new look Cavs. I think they're a little healthier than the Nuggets. Nuggets still have a couple of players that are injured. I know they got the Joker back, but like I always say, size matters. And I think Cleveland's got too much size for the Nuggets. So I'm gonna go Cavs with the victory in Denver.
Okay, Mike, who you got in this matchup? This is two teams. They finally healthy. The Joker's back. He had a triple double again as he normally does. Who you like in this one?
Well, for different reasons, I think I'm going with the Cavs. I think Soul is pretty much ready to say the Cavs are going to win a championship because they've got the most size in the league. I think
they are very girthy. They are very girthy, sir.
Mobley not playing though. Mobley's out.
Oh
so
shit!
I guess you get them gold boys ready, and I guess you'll be good. But I think that this new look Cleveland team is poised to do what they did last season. At the very least, is be at the top of the East. I don't know how that'll translate to playoffs, but I do believe that James Harden is an upgrade from Garland. And not just he's a better basketball player, but he also is a really good point guard. He sets teams up. He's more than okay with having 10 assists in a game, and he's a threat. You must guard him. So it spreads the floor even more and allows Donovan Mitchell now to just go and score as much as he humanly wants to. And so I think this makes them really dangerous. And I got them winning because Denver's a little banged up right now.
But this is my thing with this matchup. Donovan Mitchell normally raises his game because he averaged 28 points a game on the season, but against the Denver Nuggets, it's up to 33 points a game against the Denver Nuggets. So he likes whatever matchup he has over there. he normally eats. But the problem is, so when you talk about size, we talk about Jared Allen down low. He averaged 14 points and I believe 8 rebounds. But when he plays against the Joker, he shrinks like it's cold in the basement. He shrinks to 8 points a game and 3 rebounds. So that's going to be an issue when you have a guy that performs not against the best competition. So he's eating against teams like the Nets and shit. But when he comes against the best competition, where is Jared Allen at? That's going to be the reason why I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets, is because the Denver Nuggets, it don't matter. I looked at the Joker's numbers. It don't fucking matter who he played. He averaged a triple-double against everybody. So it's not any down, like he don't have any down games against any competition. And I see guys like Jared Allen who struggles against the Joker. And then Jamal Murray, he eats against the Cleveland Cavaliers because he averaged 26 points on the season. But when he plays against the Cavaliers, he averaged 34 points. So he ups his game. So I like Denver at home because of the fact that they don't have any they normally get better against the best competition. And I think this is a good team out of the East. I like the Denver Nuggets to win this one.
Because then the Nuggets lose to the Knicks recently, I think, right? Then they lost to the Knicks a few days
That
ago.
was without the Joker. The Joker just got
No, Joker was in
No,
that
Joker
game.
played. They lost to the Knicks overtime. Knicks
Yeah, it was an overtime game. That was a good game. I remember that game.
Are you calling Jared Allen Drake May?
Yo. You said he got shrinkage.
Man, I seen they said they had the easiest schedule in 25 years in the last 25 years.
Yeah,
They did say that.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, Larry, the Joker is back. The Joker is definitely back. Let's talk about the game of the night, though, fellas. The game of the night is going to be without the superstars, though. We got the Thunder at 14-13 without SGA. We got the Lakers without Luka Doncic. So I know Mike loves this. Mike loves it. But they still got LeBron, and they still got Chet. Mike, who you like in this matchup?
Well, you already know what time it is with me. I'm a load manage that game just like it load manages me.
Okay. So what about you? So who you like in this one?
The oldest man in the NBA is going to play LeBron, and everyone else ain't playing. It's crazy. I'm going to go the Lakers to get a win at home.
Okay. What do you think, Don?
Man, Thunder, man, they got the Lakers out there with them. I don't even want to say that. I'm gonna go with the Thunder and Jalen Williams.
They got a Caucasian squad. That what you gonna say, Donald?
Yeah, that's crazy. So, but no, I'm gonna go with the Thunder and Jalen Williams back tonight. So
I'm gonna go with the Thunder because Chet is an all-star. He's one of the best defenders in the league, but it's a guy on their roster that I'm really looking. This is my X factor tonight. Cason Wallace has been playing phenomenal basketball since SGA been out. I would like to see what he can do. He's a great defender, but I think he's a sneaky scorer, and I think he goes along with all those great guards that come out of Kentucky. I looked at some guards that came out of Kentucky. Oh my goodness. Nobody has produced better guards in NBA history than the Kentucky Wildcats. This is unheard of. We talking about Devin Booker. We talking about SGA. We talking about Jamal Murray. We talking about John Wall, just to name a couple off the top of my head. And that is fucking ridiculous, the kind of guards they're producing, man.
You know, it's crazy about Kentucky. They was talking about how Calipari runs practice, right? He said, I can practice y'all as a team. This is not about me. We win championships. It's about me. What we do is we're going to do 15 minutes of defense, 15 minutes of just motion, and everything else is individual training to get y'all better for the NBA.
Wow. That's crazy. That's why he got so many guys. He made a lot. He done made more millionaires than Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He done made more. And yeah, Larry, Austin Rivers he's back. Austin Rivers is coming off the bench for the Lakers, so he should be in the starting lineup with Luka Doncic out. But that's
Austin Reeves.
I said Rivers. But because I got a bonus question for everybody, but it's going to be football related, but that's going to be after we get with the college basketball right now. So college basketball, we got a top 10 matchup. Talking about Tyrese Maxey, that's another one.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Quickly. I mean, it's a lot of them. So we got a marquee matchup tonight, Donald. We got your boy at home. The Kansas Jayhawks, probably arguably the best player in the country, Darren Peterson, going against the Arizona Wildcats, which is the best team, 23-0, the best Big 12 start in history, just surpassed the Kansas Jayhawks when they started 22-0. Tonight, who do you like? The tips off in 30 minutes. Who do you like in this matchup, though?
I was just looking at this. Arizona will lose a game in the next 2 weeks, but I'm going to pick them to win every one. They got a tough schedule coming. I don't know which one it'll be, but I'm going to take Arizona to win tonight.
Arizona tonight. So who you got?
I'm going to go upset in Kansas. Their young superstars is upped his minutes a little bit the last couple of games, and Kansas is tough to beat in Lawrence. So I'm going to go Kansas to get the upset tonight.
Okay. Mike, what do you think about this one? There's no load management in college basketball unless you're Darren Peterson. What do you like about this matchup, Mike?
I think he's now coming out of the load management protocol. And if that be the case and he plays the whole game and Council is able to get in the lane the way he's been getting in the lane for the last 4 or 5 games that I've seen, and then they've got a young big guy that can stroke the three-pointer. He's a freshman as well. If those 3 guys play well, I got them pulling off the upset in Kansas. Arizona likely won't go undefeated all the way, so you got to figure they're going to lose 1 game. So road game lost to Kansas in February would make sense to me.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go against the grain, man. I got Arizona, man. Arizona is so well rounded. I don't think it matters where they play, and so I'm in agreement. We know when you play against the Kansas Jayhawks in that stadium, it's loud, it's ruckus. Rock Talk Jayhawks is going to be going all over the place. But I just don't think that Arizona, with their freshman combo, they got 3 good freshmen. They got 2 phenomenal freshmen that's going to probably go in the top 15 picks. We'll talk about that in a moment. But the guy that's the catalyst of this team is Jalen Bradley. This kid has been around the block. He's a New York kid, and he just seems to always calm this team down on both ends of the floor. He's a big-time shot taker, and he's a big-time shot maker. And this is a guy that's phenomenal. And Bradley is going to be the difference, because I think that your boy going to all of a sudden, Mike, he going to need his pass tonight. All of a sudden, he going to be cramping, because he seen the cramp in certain games, Mike. You know what I'm talking about. So, and this is one of them games, I think he going to be like, you know what? I ain't got nothing to prove. I'm probably going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. What do we need to beat the Arizona Wildcats for?
You say they need to swap out his Gatorade for some Midol. Unbeknownst to him,
you got to drink.
He'll be looking for the cramps and they ain't coming.
Mike, do you realize this dude, Darren Peterson, only averages 27.8 minutes per game? Come on, man. Donald, you play, we all play, but Donald, when I went to go see you play and you played against Jawan State, I don't think you sat down in that game.
Yeah, I wasn't making $5 million, or I would have. My body wasn't invested. I was just a regular.
You were trying to get the money, right?
One thing about these guys, their body. Listen, one thing I know about the kids now, that they don't play basketball for the love. They play basketball as a job. They do what's better as a business for themselves. So that's just what they believe is better business-wise for themselves. They don't care about legacy. They don't care about, because there's a lot of older people that say stuff about them. They don't like the way they play. A lot of older people love the game for different reasons, the passion, the way people play. They don't care about none of that. So so it don't even matter. They do what's best for them to make the most amount of money for certain situations. Like certain class was talking about reclassing back and reclassing up. Like Darren Peterson and them, this class, and it's so many of them, because some of them are still supposed to be in high school. Some of them are supposed to be a grade ahead of where they at. They did this on purpose because they were informed that it's a new collective bargaining agreement coming in after their 3rd year in the league if they're one and done, so they can get a bigger supermax. Everything is about the business nowadays. So they don't really care what nobody's saying.
But can you blame them, no, Donald? Can you blame them for thinking that way? You know what I'm saying, bro?
No, it's logic. They don't. Yeah. I don't love my job. A lot of them don't like basketball. It's a job to them. It's not the love of the game.
I don't agree with you holistically on that, because I believe that DeBanza loves the game. I believe that Caleb Wilson loves the game. He talks about how much he loves the game and his personal vendettas, and he wants to be great. I want my jersey up in those Raptors. I know I'm only going to be here 1 year, so I got to do something to do that. I think Boozer loves the game. because of the family that he comes from. He got a different. He's already rich, so his love for the game was born out of something else. I think Carmelo's son, who didn't play in the game the other night for reasons I have no idea.
That was personal.
Uh,
That was personal, Mike.
And he don't pass.
No, I'm gonna let Mike finish, but Carmelo on his show, Carmelo on his show said something about the head coach, like he's not making the adjustments. And right after his show, you know, Carmelo had his own podcast.
Yeah,
his son didn't get played, even though he's the leading scorer off the bench. Go ahead, Mike.
I wouldn't have played him either.
Take your son
and go where you have yet.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that part of the story, but like, but Donald, then I agree with you. There are other guys that, like, I'm looking at Ian Jackson over here at St. John's. He was at Carolina last year. He went back to his home state, St. John's. They promised him, you know, Patino, all this stuff. And this dude is averaging 11 points this year after being a 15-point guy last year. Had he been at Carolina, he would have been the starting point guard playing with Caleb, and that would have been ridiculous. But it didn't happen. And so it's just some guys are, some guys aren't motivated by the money. And some people got good people around them, and some people don't.
And I'm not saying, of course, they play basketball every day. So I'm not saying they don't love the game at all. But that's not, some people will be like, I'll play for free. A lot of these guys are like, they more set up to a business. And if Caleb Wilson said that he wanted his jersey retired, he's lying. Because if that was the case, he would stay more years.
He prefaced it. So to get in the Raptors at North Carolina, you have to be a first-team All-American. You have to meet these criteria. And he said, I got 1 year to do it, and I want my jersey hanging up there.
Okay. I thought he was saying like he wanted his jersey up there. If that was the case.
No. He prefaced it by saying, I'm only going to be here. I got a short window to do it. So I got to give it everything I got every night, and I have to win. This is why he takes those matchups against Peterson, against the Bansta, against Boozer. He takes it crazily personal because of what his mission is.
but thing is, the money should be an afterthought for some of these guys because they got the money's gonna be there. All you gotta do is go out there and hoop. You're gonna get the money. The money's gonna follow you because you play well. So they shouldn't be making these decisions based off money because they're gonna get paid. But you know, everyone's mentality is different. And like Donald said, you add in the family part of it and your home. It's a lot of shit to it. So I understand how kids think a certain way.
And just knowing about Peterson, he's from Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Our kids until just recently couldn't get paid in Ohio. So he's been about the business. They offer him the money 2 years, well, after his sophomore year, and they say you can't get the money in Ohio. He said, well, they pay me enough. I can move my whole family they went to West Virginia first and then California. Like if that's the case, it's about I'm playing for the money. So he's been set up about the business. Like you're gonna pay me and I can't get here. I just move my whole family somewhere else. And another question I had,
Go ahead.
Another one more question I had. Do y'all think would this be the first time if all 5 guys on first team All-American were freshmen?
Ooh,
I don't
I don't know. That's a good question. I would have to look at that. I don't.
The answer to that question would be yes.
What year was that?
No, it would be the first time that all 5 freshmen
there's no way that's
first
ever
team All-Americans.
I think this year got a chance at because I think Caleb Wilson is going to be first team. I think Boozer is going to be first team. I think one of the freshmen from Arizona, they're going to pick one because their record is going to be so good. They may put DeBansta and Peterson on there just because, or you can go with Fleming. I mean, you can go with Kingston. You can go from Houston. You can go with Acuff. So it's likely that it might be all 5 freshmen might be first team All-American.
Very possible.
I'm gonna go against the grain. I think that JT Toppin is gonna be first team. I think he's gonna be the one person that's gonna bump somebody out. Because I believe as good as the Bands is playing, and those guys at Arizona, I still think that JT Toppin's probably gonna be the player of the year in the Big 12. And you can't be the player of the Big 12 and then somebody. Well, I guess we've seen it in football. We've seen it in Lamar. So let me shut up with that. But I think that the only person I think can knock one of those guys, well, 2 of them. I think LeBaron Philon from Alabama may potentially knock one of those guys out, and I think JT Toppins may knock one of those guys out. Now, who? I don't think it's going to be Boozer because a lot of people say Boozer's probably going to be player of the year. I don't think it's going to be Caleb Wilson. I don't think it's going to be the two kids from Arizona because their scoring average is so low. So I think, I think JT Toppins will probably make first team.
I'm gonna give you a name ain't nobody talking about, but I swear to God, if you look at his numbers, Jeremy Fears from Michigan State is dominating the Big Ten at all of probably about 6'2", probably, but he's like 8-9 assists a game and somewhere around about 15 points a game. And that was because of the first 8 games of the season, he was really only averaging 10, and then Izzo told him to take off, and now the kid basically is averaging 20 and 10.
He's not gonna get Big Ten. They're gonna give it to Keaton Wagler from Illinois because of what he's doing.
Keaton Wagler with 24 and 15.
Winning don't matter.
24 and 15.
I don't think he's gonna get it because of whatever he's supposed to get suspended for him. Even if he don't get suspended, I think they'll still not vote for him because of it. But I do know. But Fears is the truth, though. He is for sure.
Hey, Larry said, "Is Miami of Ohio really undefeated? What are they going? What's going on up there?" And then Champ, he said, a whole lot of Ben Roethlisberger activity going on up in Miami, Ohio. Yeah, they are undefeated. But if that's what I wanted to talk about, guys, is we're getting what's up, Richard Norvell in the building. I want to talk about this if we could before we get to the bonus question, and this is the teams that are, I believe, on the bubble. I'm gonna ask our team, tell me if their bubble gonna burst or not. Donald, do you think Tulsa at 20-4, do they bubble burst?
I don't think it depends on if they make it to their conference championship, they may get in. If they make it, they don't have to win it, but if they get in, if they make it to, I think they can get in. But honestly, I don't. I think they don't get in.
So Tulsa 20-4, do they bubble burst?
No.
Think they get in?
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, do you think Tulsa get in at 20-4?
Well, it's too much basketball to be played this shit. They gotta keep winning because they can't afford to lose a lot. They don't have a large margin of error, so they probably could lose maybe 1, maybe 2 more games and still get in because other teams are gonna lose. But if they lose more than 2 games, then I don't think that they would.
I'm gonna be real. I don't think Tulsa get in unless they win their conference championship. I know even if they go undefeated and if they lose any point in time, it's just too many good teams. I'm gonna say Tulsa has to win their conference championship to get in. If they don't, they don't get in. Mike, the people sent George Mason. They're out of Atlantic Coast. They are the AAC Atlantic Coast Conference. I think that's the same division with University of Dayton. Do George Mason 21-3? Do they bubble burst?
No, I think that first of all, I think they're gonna win their conference, and that school handed me one of the worst tournament losses I've ever endured in all my life. Right here in good old Dayton, Ohio. I went to the first round game. We won that. I said, "Oh, we'll beat George Mason. We ain't play no more that season." Season ended right there in UD Arena. So I still got nightmares about that.
Okay. So what do you think? Do George Mason's bubble burst, or do they get in the tournament?
Well, like Mike said, I think they got a good chance of winning their actual conference, so I think they get in.
I'm gonna say they get in. This is one of the teams I feel like they get in even without a conference victory. I think George Mason is that good. That's a team that's been flying under the radar all season. 20-3 in that conference is quite impressive. If you look at the teams, VCU's in that conference. University of Dayton's in that conference. So I like George Mason, even if they don't win their tournament, to actually win that. Now let's talk about some Power 5 conferences while Donald's getting situated. Solon Sports. North Carolina State at 18-6 in the ACC, a very, very top-heavy conference, ACC. Do NC State bubble burst?
Do they have any big-time wins, Jody? I have to go back and look and see. Do they have any big wins? I would say that they don't get in.
You say they don't? Mike, the people, Sam, you're an ACC guy. Do they get in?
If they were to win a couple, they got to win it. Like, I imagine they schedule, they may have North Carolina on there. They probably got Clemson. They may have Duke. They're going to have to win a couple games to get some points, maybe Virginia, because just beating Wake Forest and Georgia Tech, and that's not going to get it done for them. So I think they got more work to do. right now, if you ask me where they getting in, I'd say no. They'll be NIT bound.
Okay, young Chris said it was a big fight, and we'll get more developing information going on. It's a big fight in the NBA. I think between it looked like the Knicks and the Hornets. We'll get more as that story develops. NC State does not get in. I think NC State is, like I said, I think you got to have a winning record in ACC, and I think when it's all said and done, I don't think they will. So I got NC State not quite making the cut, and their bubble will burst. So on sports, we got University of Central Florida. They got some nice wins, but they got some kind of bad losses. They're 17-6, and they play in the Big 12, a very good conference. Do they get in?
No, they don't get in.
Okay, Mike, do you think UCF gets in?
Again, we're about 2 weeks too early to say, because if they run the table and keep it to 4 or 5 losses, they could get an at-large bid. I mean, they could get an at-large bid. If they lose a couple games, then no.
I think and we're basically looking at a crystal ball. We're just jumping ahead of it. I think that Central Florida does get in because of the strength of how powerful the Big 12 is. I believe the Big 12 has the best conference in America this year. Last year I thought it was SEC. Now has went over to the Big 12, and I think they have competed with any team in this conference. So I think that somehow, some way, Central Florida will be like a number 10 seed, Mike, or something like that.
Don't you think you gotta look, because let's say they don't have to play Arizona and they don't have to play BYU, then they probably got a pretty good chance, because that's 2 games they ain't got to worry about losing, right? But if they had to play those 2 teams and, Iowa State, if their back end of their schedule is loaded, they could lose 3 or 4 games and this won't be a conversation.
But I think they get in because even if they lose those games, sometimes a loss against Arizona is better than some of these fucking weak ass wins. You know what I'm saying? I think they look at who you played. So I think, and they coached by, I know you don't like this guy, but they coached by Johnny Dawkins. They do great, and he's really doing a fantastic job down there with those guys.
Johnny Dawkins never did nothing to me.
Okay. He never won, I guess. But
hey, Jody, he ain't did no harm, no foul.
Something wrong with your ass. Mike, Villanova, a very weak Big East. Villanova, 18-5. No really star power. Do they bubble burst or do they get in?
Boy, that conference is the least. It hurts my heart to see the Big East where they are. And Villanova may be a victim of where the Big East is. Georgetown looked like they were going to be okay this year, and then just fell. The wheels just came raging off of that vehicle. I've got Xavier is down this year. I've got
Creighton.
Nobody's really stepping up. I got St. John's. Now, they did pull a big win, and them and UConn, but it looked like it's them, UConn, and that's it. So they'll have to win out. They have to win out the regular season. If they win out the regular season, which means they'll be about 20-something, 22, 23-6, I think they could get in, because I do think the Big East could get 3 teams in at large.
So what do you think?
I'm going to say no. They don't get in.
I'm agree with So. I say no, because their strength of schedule is lower than the Atlantic 10. You know what I'm saying? So if it's lower than the Atlantic 10, and it's not up there with the other Power 5 conferences, other Power 4 conferences, no, I think Villanova is probably only going to lose 7 games. They're going to go like 25-7, and everybody going to say, why didn't they get in? In their schedule, you got to go play somebody. If you know your conference is weak, you got to go play somebody. You got to. So I got them not getting in as well. So UCLA, this is the tough one. They got a winning record in the Big Ten. They got a key win against Michigan State at home. They got star power out there. They got Donovan Dent. This guy is a fantastic guard. Do you think UCLA gets in?
Do the O'Bannon brothers play? Are they there? Ed O'Bannon. What's the other brother name?
Charles O'Bannon.
Was that other than light skinned curly
Toby Bailey.
Toby Bailey.
Tyus Edney.
You ain't got no Baron Davis over there either, man.
I'm gonna say no. They bubble will bust. I don't think they make it.
Mike, what do you think about this UCLA, man? Tough team to play at home. Do you think they bubble burst?
If Lou Alcindor was coming through that door, then I would give him an outstanding chance, or RIP to Bill Walton, the big redhead. If he was coming through that door, there ain't no help coming. So it is what it is. And that Big Ten is a bunch of competitive teams. There's no dynamic athletic team in the Big Ten, but it's a very competitive league because the teams are damn near all the same. So, Cronin, I'm gonna take Cronin to find a way to thug his way through a couple more wins to get them in. Yes, I'm gonna say UCLA gets in.
I'm gonna say yes. UCLA. I think UCLA is a team that they got a couple guys. They got some good 3-point shooting, and you know, if you got good 3-point shooting in college basketball, you got a really good chance to win. I told you they got a great home record. They just don't fare well when they had to come all, which I think is absolutely fucking stupid that you got to go 3,000 miles to play Ohio State or Michigan. That's ridiculous. You got to go 25 or 33,000 miles. So I like UCLA. They got enough. They'll control the West Coast because Oregon's absolutely garbage out there. USC, we'll get to them in a moment, but UCLA does get in. Solon Sports, Wisconsin. They got some big victories. I think they're the only team that beat the Michigan Wolverines. They're 16-7. Michigan got one loss, and it's only to the Wisconsin Badgers. Does Wisconsin get in?
Depending on how they finish the season now, big victory is going to be big for them. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say yes, they get in.
You like Wisconsin? Okay, Mike, do you think Wisconsin, with Nick Boyd, they got a little star power, guy average about 17, 18 a game. Do you like Wisconsin potentially getting into the tournament?
I hate how this is going to sound, but I don't like Wisconsin in any sport, man. Unless you was talking about power cleaning or something like that. I just, you know, we've seen this act before, you know. Mike Finley ain't coming out that locker room no time soon. And even when he did, what did it matter? So Barry Alvarez, shout out to him and what he did on the football field. And
Barry Alvarez.
The coaches, the one Ryan coach that they had that had the gray hair was always kind of pulled back. And he had Bo Ryan, I think, was real physical team. But no, they're too far down. If they only had 4 losses, I think they could get in. But if they play Michigan State, Illinois, Nebraska, I can't see them mustering up enough wins to get an at-large bid right now. No.
Mike, I'm disappointed in you, man. You didn't say Darnell Hoskins ain't walking through that door, man.
I couldn't get to it. My mind was processing too many Kanowskis on that team.
Because he played with Mike Finley, Tracy Webster, and he played with Rashard Griffin. And the reason why Darnell went to Wisconsin is because they had a black coach. Remember, Coach Jackson ended up the next year went to the New York Knicks, and that's why he transferred back home to the University of Dayton. So that's the story about Darnell Hoskins. Donald, does Wisconsin bubble burst or they get into the tournament?
Big Ten, Wisconsin. No, I think the Big Ten are probably gonna get about. Big Ten ain't that strong. So if they win 2 games, because everything depends on if they win 2 games at least in the tournament, I can see them getting in because they're gonna get over teams like Tulsa, and they just rather have a Big Ten team in just cause. But I say they get in.
I'm gonna go Wisconsin gets in. I'm gonna say I think the Big Ten is gonna get about 11 teams in the tournament, and they will be that 11th team that get in the tournament. So I got Wisconsin. I like Nick Boyd. Nick Boyd can come up big in big situations. I've seen him have a huge game against Michigan. Michigan's only loss. That'll be their claim to fame. They'll be like, well, we beat Michigan. Nobody else could beat Michigan when they were blowing everybody out. Wisconsin was able to beat the Michigan Wolverines. So I like Wisconsin in this one. Eagles Philly said Kansas' best player that came off the bench will not be playing tonight. He got the flu. Arizona Wildcats should win that game. Good stuff. Thank you very much with that one. Donald, since you were off, I'm going to go back around the horn. Texas A&M. Texas A&M are 8-2 in the SEC. They're 8-2, Donald. They're 17-6 overall. Does Texas A&M, with not a lot of star power, do they get in the tournament?
8-2 at the SEC. SEC not that strong though, but the SEC they about like where Wisconsin is. So I'll say Texas A&M. Don't think they get in because they got some good wins in the SEC.
Okay, so do Texas A&M get into the tournament?
Yeah, the Aggies get in.
Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise.
I mean,
Mike,
that
he
was
picked the Texas team. Are you serious? He picked the Texas team. Like,
that was low-lying fruit. Leave it to him. SMU, Houston, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, Texas Perry, and everybody else in Texas is going to
Are
be
you saying
Longhorns.
I'm biased? What are you trying to say here, brother?
Sam Houston State.
Yeah, Jody. They deserve a first-round bye. They need to be in the play-in.
Hey,
They had a good season.
Hey, Mike, if you can say Sam Darnold is the best quarterback in the NFL, I can say the Aggies can go to the tournament.
Wow. Mike, do you think Texas A&M gets into the tournament?
I do. Their name came up in something I was watching within the last 24 hours as I've been watching, getting up to speed on my college basketball and all the Dukes sulking and carrying on all throughout the world. So, but Texas A&M's name came up. They got a pretty good record. If they can stack a couple more wins, I think they're going to get in at large.
Eagles, Philly, you absolutely do know your shit. I ain't going to even hold you on that one. You're a motherfucking brainiac when it comes to that shit, and I love it. Texas A&M gets in. But they took one on the chin. Florida beat that ass, dog. Florida beat that ass. But big shout out to my man Clifton, Fatso Cook. He was a Texas A&M guy. He was a big when he played because he was one of my teammates. He's Daquan Cook's uncle. When he played, because we played on the same team at Belmont. Then he went and I played against him when he went to Dunbar. I went to Colonel White. Fatso Clifton Cook. He was a Big 8. So check this out. He was the Big 8 player of the year.
Wow.
Newcomer of the year. He was a Big 8 newcomer of the year. Back in 98?
Had to be 97, 98.
No, because he didn't go there right. He went to JUCO his first year, so it was 1998. Because we graduated in 96. It was 98. He was a newcomer of the year in the Big 8 at Texas A&M. But yeah, Texas A&M get in 8-2 in the SEC. Even if they lose, even if they go 8-7 in the SEC, I think they get in. I think they get in with only 19 wins. I think Texas A&M gets in because they have such a great schedule, great record in the SEC. So yeah, I think Texas A&M get in. Solo on Sports, stand with the SEC. We got Missouri at 16-7. Do they get in? They got a winning record in the SEC.
I'm gonna say the Tigers don't make it.
They don't get in.
Okay. They don't make it.
Okay. Mike, Missouri. This is a tough one. Do Missouri get in at 16-7?
They can't lose a 10th game. If they can manage not to lose 10 games, however some they can do that, as long as their final record ends with 9 losses, they in. If their record ends, I don't care if it's in the tournament, if they end up 20-something and 10, it's going to be good night, Irene.
Mike, that's fair analysis. It's very fair. Donald, what do you think? Missouri, they got some big wins. They got some bad losses.
Bad loss. I watched Missouri a couple times. I don't think so. Me on the eye test, just looking at them, I would say no to Missouri.
I'm going to say no, but big shout out to my man, Steve Wright. C-Dub in the building, assistant coach over there in Missouri. He was younger than me at Colonel White. I was a senior when he was a freshman. Steve Wright, one of the best players to ever come out of Colonel White. You know Steve. Y'all know Steve.
Oh, no, that's what he was the best to me. I can't tell me no different.
He wasn't better than Daryl Martin. I'm gonna tell you that shit right.
I ain't seen Daryl Martin, but
I don't think none of them would say they was better than Hoggy though.
Tally. Mike Tally.
I have to get Kerry to chime in on that one because this is y'all's lane. This is y'all's Hall of Fame. I've seen all of them play, every last one of them. There's only one guy that brought that state championship home,
Well, he had Javon Scales though. Don't leave out.
Well,
Javon
he had
Scales.
a whole bunch of people. He had Jeff Elder, like they had.
He had
one of-
Chastain.
How about this? They had one of the best constructed high school basketball teams that Dayton's ever had. I mean, you got a 7-footer, you got Scales on one block, you got Ricardo playing with them, you got Hoggy up top, then you got an assortment of other guards on that roster. They were 9 deep. And you couldn't match. You couldn't outmatch it. They had enough size to play with a college team and guards that could fill it up.
Now, so I know you feeling left out. That team he talking about still had lost 10 games and still won a state championship. They lost 10 games and still won a state championship.
How about this? And Will Watkins is somebody nobody talks about, and he was 6'5".
Will was good, but he got overshadowed by all that talent on that roster. And I think Dunbar will beg to differ. That Dunbar team at 87 with Mark Baker, Kurt Taylor, Mike Haley, Mike Harris, and Donald knows Daquan Cook team. They argues Daquan Cook that played with the Miami Heat and Norris Cole both played on the same high school team.
Wow.
Well, first off, you're gonna get the Rolf contingent to say the Rolf 81 team might have been the best team.
Mike, let's not even get into that because we'll be here all night. And I don't want to leave Soul out because he knows some of these guys. Because Daquan was in the NBA and Norris.
Yeah, he was.
Did you ever hear of a guy named Dwight Anderson? So, have you ever heard of him?
No, he played in the league.
He played for the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Mike, the Golden State.
I can't remember the teams.
I think it was Gold. I know he played for Boston,
but he played for like 4 Division I colleges.
He played for Kentucky, USC,
Kentucky and USC.
This motherfucker. Look, this rest in peace. This motherfucker soul. I'm gonna tell you like this. Go to YouTube and look up the Blue Blur.
And the Blue Blur?
Blue Blur.
The Blur. Or look up Isaiah Thomas talking about him when Isaiah Thomas said every camp we went to, we knew he was winning the MVP.
But listen, so, and I'm gonna get to this last game. They said he was Michael. Dominique said he was Michael Jordan before Dominique said this.
What year was this?
He came out at 80. Mike, didn't he come out 81?
He came out in 80
or 81.
81, something like that. Because I was young when Dwight was like still playing at Rolf, and I just heard of who he was. But I grew up to be in gyms, and when he would come in, and at 30-some years old, 40-some years old, come in there and run everybody off the court.
That's what I was gonna say. I met him at 50 in the gym, and he was still in there looking like one of the best players. But hold on, this is ridiculous.
Hold on, let's put some content. So, the nigga was on crack, nigga.
Oh yeah, don't leave that part out.
No, so this nigga was a legit. No, so the nigga was a known crackhead and will drop 90 on you.
And a story. I don't know how true they said Princeton. They said he dogged out Ron Harper, and they told him next time you better bring Jordan.
I'm gonna say this, and this
wow.
So this is the last story, Mike. Mike. I know you heard this story. So you gotta think in 94, 93, 94. I'm only like a freshman. So it was some known street pharmacists that were betting from Dayton. They bet Columbus. Columbus had Nick Van Exel, Samaki Walker. I think it was Kenny Gregory on that team, Mike. Kenny Gregory that played for Kansas. They said so some of these known guys, I ain't gonna name their name. They went and got Dwight off the fucking street. Gave him a bump. Gave him some shoes, and he went and lit up 3 NBA niggas. True story, nigga. True story.
He was cold.
If you catch that documentary, you'll understand what we're talking about.
The Blue Blur.
Blue Blur. Look it up on YouTube. It's crazy work. Hey, how you doing, Teresa? Hope you're having a great and fabulous day. But let's keep it moving. I'm sorry, I had to sidetrack. And I know you ain't from me because I bet some guys in Texas, you'll be like, didn't you grow up by LaDainian Tomlinson?
Huh?
Didn't LaDainian Tomlinson grow up where you was at?
Oh, yeah, right down the street where I'm from. Yeah, LT and Adrian Peterson, like maybe 20 minutes from my hometown. Yeah, AP's right down the street. Yeah.
Probably 2 top 5 guys. We ain't
Yeah,
getting
bro.
that.
Yeah.
How the fuck y'all got Drew Brees from Texas,
Oh,
Matthew
yeah.
Stafford, Clayton Kershaw, Larry Johnson, Chris
But,
Bosh? Like,
but
God
here's the
damn,
thing.
y'all got.
But here's the thing. Per capita, I've said this for eons, and I'll continue to say it. You know, you go back, and at one point, Dayton had Harper, both Paxson brothers, and we talking about a town that's
Yeah.
like our county maybe has 1 million people in it, but the city only has, you know, at that time probably about 500,000 that were in the city and 1 million all around in the county, but we continuously had NBA and NFL guys coming out of this place in the middle of
Factory.
Shit,
nowhere.
we had the number 1 pick of the draft, Daniel Wilkerson, which is my stepfather's. That's Doug's.
Big Daddy.
Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Doug's,
Yeah.
His nephew.
his nephew. So that's my stepfather's nephew. We had a guy. Do you remember Mark? You remember Marco Coleman? Played for
Yeah.
the Redskins.
Yeah,
He
I
went to
remember him.
Patterson. Marco Coleman.
Jody,
Like,
when I'm telling you per capita, you know, this is one of the reasons why I never understood why Ohio State did good in Dayton, but there was a stretch where Ohio State wasn't coming into Dayton like they should have been and really could have, you know, done some things. And basketball-wise, had UD built a fence around Dayton, they could have had some crazy teams.
UD and Wright State don't even talk to a lot of our kids.
as a matter of fact, one of Donald's really good friends outside of Daquan, you remember Juwan Staten that played for West Virginia? So
Yeah, I heard that.
That was my coach's son in high school. That was his son. He used to run around practice as a little kid. Juwan Staten just at Colonel White. We was like, and then he went to the NBA. So, hey, Richard Novell said he was at Princeton, Donald, when he dogged out Ron Harper. He said he was there.
No, I'm telling you, it said he dogged. He said he better bring Jordan because you ain't.
Hold on. Do y'all remember? Hold on, last one, and I'm gonna keep going. I swear, Mike. Do you remember when Coach Ward from Meadowdale's daughter had a baby with Penny Hardaway? Penny Hardaway went to Princeton, and he dogged Penny Hardaway.
The Dwight legend is, as you can see, stolen.
But there was a lot. There were so many great players that didn't make.
That never made it.
It's like
so many reasons.
Dwight is like Bigfoot or the Loch Ness monster. If you didn't see it, you don't believe it. But if you seen it with your own 2 eyes, or you thought you saw it, because I was at Roosevelt a time or two where he came in and just took, and all the college dudes, all the college D1 dudes used to come home and play over at Roosevelt during the summer. And so it was the street dudes, college dudes that didn't make it, all the top people playing basketball at Roosevelt. And Dwight would come in there indiscriminately, and they were like, oh, shit.
This is my last one. I got one more Dwight story. So when I met Dwight, remember, Mike, you remember at Fairview, you said the future all-star camp at Fairview? So I went and I won MVP. He ran it. Dwight ran it. So you know who Peerless Price is, right?
Oh yeah.
He was a hooper. He could have made it to the NBA. That's how good Peerless was. Good in football. He was also good in basketball. This motherfucker, Dwight dog. It was Peerless was out there. They had Mark Williams from Patterson. Dwight dog. All of us. Like it was no competition, and that's why I knew when I found out who Dwight Anderson was when I got to play against him, and he was a straight crackhead though. He was a straight crackhead. But let's keep moving. Last couple teams. Donald, the Georgia Bulldogs, 17-6, tough schedule, SEC, shaky losses. What do you think?
I said Texas A&M will get it, so I'm gonna say Georgia because I think Texas A&M and Georgia are real similar. So if I'm gonna say one, I gotta say the other one. So I'm gonna go with Georgia getting in.
Okay. So what do you think?
I'm starting to hate Georgia since I'm an SEC guy now. They just won't stop picking on my Longhorns. So no, I don't want the Bulldogs in. They bubble will be busted.
They y'all daddy though.
They are.
So y'all got a player who might make it to the league from Ohio. Dalen Swain really been playing good for Texas. He might make the NBA. He's from Columbus, about an hour north of.
Yeah, he has been playing good.
Yeah, he's pretty good. Mike, what do you think? Did Georgia get in with your favorite son?
Well, my favorite basketball player's son is there, and his highlights are crazy. And if a little Neat can play a little extended basketball and get something where the people can really get to know his name, because he's actually a good basketball player.
He a freshman also?
Yeah, he's a freshman.
Yeah, he's part of this freshman class. Is just unreal. So, but I think Georgia's got more work to do. I don't think they can have any slippage on the back end of this season over the next couple of weeks. They're another team. As long as they don't lose that 10th game, they're in. If they lose that 10th game, because I think you got Kentucky in there, you got Vanderbilt in there. They play very competitive. Like, they got what you're going to end up calling good losses. Kentucky lost to North Carolina, out of conference loss. Kentucky's battled, beat Tennessee, then lost to them by a bucket or so. So they right in the mix. And you got Tennessee, and then you got all those teams.
Florida.
I'm not sure. As long as they don't get that 10th win, then loss, yes. If they get that 10th loss, it's going to be a wrap.
So I'm with you on this one. Georgia does not get in. I just don't think they got enough offense. They got Wilkins, but Wilkins' son don't even get as many minutes. They go to a kid named Wilker's son. I just don't think Georgia has enough. They got some really bad losses. And Georgia don't get it. Georgia will be NIT bound, and we'll get to see how Dominic's son plays in the NIT. Georgia, the not invited tournament, but they won't get into the NCAA tournament.
Ain't that bad. Carolina played in it.
Yo.
Wow.
Damn, Mike.
We make every tournament important. That's why he remembers. He always remembers what Daddy's doing.
Because y'all lost to my homeboy, Chris Wright.
I tell you what.
Another NBA guy, Dom. So he from
I tell you what we didn't do. We didn't lose Saturday. I know that.
Okay. Solo on Sports, last team. Now I'm asking this question because they just got one of the, and I got him in my top 20. If he didn't get in the car accident, Elijah Arenas would be probably a top 5 pick. And he just dropped 29 against Indiana. Now USC got a bona fide star, 18-6. Do USC make the tournament?
I think they get in.
Okay. Mike, do USC get in the tournament now?
They got some work to do. They got some work. They sitting in a good spot. If Arenas is little Arenas is what he looks like he might be, they might be on to something to get in. I like their chances at getting in. We're adding him to the lineup. Not often do you get to add a player that can give you 20 to 30 points in a game. Third way through the season, that's going to be good for them. I like their chances.
Okay. Donald, what do you think? Does USC get in?
I think USC get in. First of all, it's USC, which they ain't been good in basketball, but they still sometimes names will override somebody you're just running parallel with. But I do think they were solid, and then like you said, they got an actual star back, and I don't think he's where he was. Like, he got to get more. It's crazy because he dropped 30 points without even being at his potential what he could be this year. So I do think they get in because I feel like they get better once they get him back. We'll have him back.
Donald, without a doubt, USC is fucking in this tournament. They're not gonna lose by 30 to. Remember when Michigan beat their ass by 30? They don't with Arenas in the lineup. They don't lose by fucking 30. And I think Arenas is, like I said, if he doesn't get in this car accident that he got in, we will be talking about Arenas. So we'll be talking about Arenas probably top 3 in this draft. We're talking about one of the most loaded draft classes probably since 1981, which I know Mike and Soul can contest to with Jordan and Mullins and those guys. So
that was 84.
No, the freshman class. They came in.
Oh, the freshman class. Oh, yeah, freshman class.
Yeah. So my thing is Elijah Arenas is that good, and I think him at 80% is better than 90% of America outside of this freshman class. So I think USC gets in. He has the potential to be as good as his dad, or even, and it's crazy I'm saying this, so he may have the potential to be better than Agent Zero, and we know how good that motherfucker was. We know
he got all the school, and he's getting all the perfect training and stuff too. So
you know how good, Agent Zero was a motherfucker.
Yeah.
Gilbert And we can hate Gilbert all we want on this podcast, but that motherfucker was a professional scorer.
Yeah, he can score.
Gilbert Arenas give me Antonio Brown vibes. Real great for that stint of time. Gilbert Arenas, for his 3-year stint till he started getting hurt, 3-time All-NBA, averaged 30 a couple years. Gilbert Arenas was that good, like how Antonio Brown was dominant for 5-6 years, and they got the attitudes. They got with a lot gonna come with them. He just gives me, it remind me of Antonio Brown.
Oh, you talking about on the field?
You talking about comparison to the NFL?
Okay.
Yeah, like compare this play, how good they was at a point in time.
Eagles Philly said he made the game winner against Penn State. Talking about Elijah Arenas. Listen, hey, Mike, that motherfucker can flat out play, man.
I wonder if daddy gonna convince him to stay one more year unless he plays well and finish the tournament good. You never know. He might come out after his freshman year also.
Yeah,
I
think he's coming back. I think he's coming back just because it's stuff he got to work on. And he reclassed up. Like he was graduating high school this year, and he reclassed up, and then to miss half of the season. I think he's gonna come back because I think him not playing knocked him out of that top 5-ish where they had him projected at coming in. So I think he might come back because he didn't have a full year this year.
And he probably can get about $10 million in NIL to stay.
But they don't need no money. Shit, Gilbert Arenas was one of the highest paid players and didn't play for 5 fucking years.
But that's his money.
That's it. Come on, man. My money is my kids' money.
Yeah, but if your child has an opportunity to make a quick 10 mil,
yeah.
I mean,
can you imagine the commercials next year with him and Juju?
Yeah, she said she got to come back. She has to come back.
Yeah, she's coming back.
So real quick, I'm gonna go around the horn and we get to the last bonus if y'all got time. Mike, do you think if Arenas stays, is he the projected #1 pick next year?
it's hard to say. I mean, there'll always be a new #1 pick next year. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, it'd be hard pressed to see him not being the #1 pick going into next season. But you got to know right now, there's somebody in this class that's coming up that they're gonna tell us, swear that that's the next guy. Right, so
I like some of these guys in the McDonald All-American game, the #1. I just don't think they're as good as this kid right here. So, do you think that if Elijah Arenas comes back, is he gonna be the #1 pick, like projected when the season starts?
Probably so, Jody, because you think all the guys are freshmen we've been talking about, they're probably all gonna go pro. I don't see any of those guys staying for another year or so. Unless there's some high school kid right now we don't know about, I don't see. Yeah, he probably be projected #1 pick.
I looked at the McDonald All-American class that's coming in, so it ain't nobody on this guy. This Elijah, he could have went pro right out of high school without this accident. That's how good I believe Arenas is. Don, you think that he's going to be projected #1?
More than likely so, because like you say, next year's class this is actually his senior year of high school. He reclassed and went to college early the year. So, and he was #1 in his class before that happened. So, therefore, he's probably just still been killing him. So, I see him coming back being a #1 pick.
Wait, hold on. Soul got breaking news. Peterson is not playing?
Nope.
Oh,
He's
I'm
out.
not watching that shit. Arizona gonna beat the shit out of him.
I was just getting ready to get ready for the game. Now I ain't gonna watch the shit now.
I thought I saw him warming up.
Goddamn Joel
Mike,
Embiid.
Mike, did he get his Midol? He didn't get his Midol shipment you sent him?
I was sitting here watching the game. I could have swore when this game started, he was physically on the court to start.
I'm telling you, man, this kid, he's got tons of talent. But if I'm a GM, I got to think twice about taking this kid the #1 pick, man. I got to have a serious conversation with him about this. I wouldn't. I don't know. I'd be a little leery about doing it.
Hey, so if Jordan can go #3, he damn sure could go #3 if you ask me.
Oh, no, because right now it's options. That's the thing about it. It's options. So it ain't like he's just that, and he's the only player that can be there. No, it's options.
I'm low key, Donald. I'm low key. I'm a little disgusted, Donald. Like, what you stubbed your toe in the layup line? Like, what's really, Donald? What's really going on, man?
It probably just came out like I don't feel like playing.
I don't like that.
And that's the thing. I think they understand that you don't like it, but they don't really care. Like what we like, they don't care. They don't care about the fans. the media, they are for themselves, which I never knock a person that's doing what you feel is best for you. But I don't like it because, like I said, I was ready to watch him play. So as the
I
fans
was
and stuff,
too. I was just about to
I've
go.
been watching this game since it started, and I could have swore that he was on the court.
That's crazy. I know y'all want to get off here. I got one more bonus question, last 10 minutes. And it's not really a bonus question, but it's going back to the NFL. And Deshaun, quarterback of Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson had 2 assault lawsuit charges dismissed. I think that's a bigger deal, and I don't think it's getting enough pub. And we're going to do it on Against the Grain Sports because if they would have added 2 more, it would have been the #1 story over the fucking Super Bowl if they would have added 2 more charges. But for 2 more charges to be dismissed, and he never was officially charged of anything in the court of law. Donald, what do you think about these 2 charges being dismissed on Deshaun Watson going forward?
it don't matter. They can dismiss all of them. The damage already done. It never hit. It's always going to be viewed the same, and it don't matter. Like I was saying yesterday, just because they all said that stuff, don't make it true. A lot of stuff, you see crazy stuff in crazier ways, but it don't matter if all of them drop the lawsuits. It don't matter. The damage already be done. He'd never be viewed the same. His career never be the same, and it's just over. And now I guess they repaid him with the big contract he got, but his image and stuff, he's still who he is. And he had to suffer from it, but it don't matter what happens. It's done. The damage is already done.
Damn, good shit, Donald. So what do you think, man? Does this even matter that these 2 charges are dropped?
I would say no. Like Donald said, the court of public opinion is a motherfucker, boy. The only thing that can make this shit go away, what they would still have to answer. If he came back and started and had a Sam Darnold season and went to the Super Bowl, now they're going to bring it up. But I tell you what, people will forgive him if he actually took a team to the Super Bowl. Other than that, no, they're not going to forgive this guy ever.
Damn. Mike, what do you think? Is this a big deal? Not a big deal? What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it fits the narrative that I was talking about yesterday, I believe. You can't believe all women. It is not right to be guilty till proven innocent and have this media barrage on allegations that disturb people's livelihoods, well-beings, and potentially generational wealth. You don't know how you're impacting these guys' kids, they whole family structure, all kinds of things. And until there are some counter lawsuits that are carried out for the principle of it all, because none of these broads got no money, not the money that these guys got, right? And so you're not going to get your money out of it, but somebody's got to stand up and go ahead and file them counter lawsuits and bankrupt a couple of these broads. And they will stop doing it. But if there's no consequence for doing it, and you can get notoriety, you get hush money, you can get whatever you know, get stuff out of it, there's more to gain by doing it than there is to lose by doing it. And until you level the playing field, and it makes it sad for the people that really go through things, because we're not in a position where you can just believe someone because of their gender.
And I also, like, I feel that, Mike. I think that your case should be heard, but if it's proved that it's not accurate in the end, your wages should be garnished by 100% for 3 years. And I bet you that they'll stop doing it.
They said 100%.
100%, because you try to take this man's livelihoods into prison, you try to do everything. So if it's deemed to be not true, and it's got to be proven without a reasonable doubt not true, then you should 100% of your wages should be garnished.
You have to roll different though, bro. When you're a certain status, especially when you're black, you can't be a freak and get it.
Man,
he probably didn't do anything illegal. He probably did.
So this
but
isn't a
you
black
can't be a freak in today's world. It's just the way it is.
This isn't a black and white thing. There's a couple baseball players. I don't know if you've been following this. They done got hemmed up, got kicked out of MLB, and then come to find out 2 years later down the road that the young man hadn't done a thing, and it was all a setup. The girl was texting her girlfriend. They always get caught texting the girlfriend about how the scheme is going to go down. and then those records come up,
You
right?
have to find you a better class of woman. If you got millions of dollars in your pocket, you can't be going on Instagram or going down to the local mall to find your woman. You got to put yourself in a different circle, and you'll find a better class of person that's got something to lose, just like you do.
Right,
but it's ones like that who think they are one way. They might even think they are that way. When they experienced a certain lifestyle, that high can bring them to lower their standards to do other things anyway. And the last thing I want to say about the Browns, I think if Deshaun Watson come back and win the Super, I think the Browns are in a lose-lose situation because now they're still gonna get flack over. Oh, Shador should have been playing anyway. I think it's a lose-lose situation for the Browns.
This is my thing, and y'all are all once again batting 1,000 on what y'all just said, but I'm gonna go a little bit different. And what I'm going different on is the fact that like the damage is already done. Like it's nothing you can't reverse. You like Mike like to say you can't put the toothpaste back into the tube. It's never been done before. It never will be done. And I think that why are we so quiet about it though? That's what I don't understand. Why is this was like when I looked at the ESPN topics, it was like down the list. But I guarantee you, if this would have been 2 more added, we wouldn't even be. It would be breaking news. They would have went inside the Super Bowl celebration and start talking about this because this is what America really wants. They want to have a villain. They want somebody to point the finger at. And Deshaun Watson is the person that they're pointing the finger at. If you look at guys like Deshaun Watson, Michael Vick, they're guilty now. I remember people were saying that Michael Vick shouldn't be able to do anything else in his life. Somebody said that Michael Vick should have got the chair. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, that, come on. Like, I understand that people are animal lovers, and I'm not knocking that. And did he do wrong? But guess what? The judge gave him whatever time he served it. We can't say the court system is working good when it's only working in your favor. If they say this judge said he needs to go do this amount of time and you go pay your debt to society, because what people fail to realize, jail is called correctional facilities. Am I right or wrong? Jail is correctional facilities. It's not go to jail because I don't like you. It's called, you're supposed to go to jail to be what? Rehabilitated. And if you go spend your time and you do your time, that's what you're supposed to come out as. So what Deshaun Watson never did anything that was going to criminally put him in an opportunity to even go to prison. And like I said, if he did, then he need to be buried up under the fucking prison. I'm all about women's rights. I'm all about that shit. But when you don't do it, like Mike said, it got to be consequences on the other side for people that's lying. Because right now, all of us on the show and anybody listening, if somebody goes and they say, Jody touched me inappropriately, I got to fight to get my name back.
Just leave it up.
Mike. I would have to fight to get my name back, even though I'm innocent, and that's not fair. So,
like Mike said, it gotta be consequences on the other side of people that's lying. Because right now, all of them showing, if somebody goes and they say,
somebody got shown.
Joe touched me inappropriately, I gotta fight.
I think that was Mike.
Yeah,
But yeah, so nevertheless, man, I just wanted to, if it was a bad thing, I just wanted to kind of get that out there and do it. Eagles Philly said, my final thought is which y'all think about the situation about Carmelo's son went through or not playing the other night. The head coach said that it was his decision not to play. Now, I'm glad he said that real quick because Mike had made mention about Carmelo's son not playing. And like I said, I found out it was more of a personal thing because Carmelo said something on his very popular podcast about the way that his son is being coached and the way the team is being coached. And then all of a sudden, an adult made a decision not to play your top scorer off the bench. There's no room. You don't pay Carmelo's son averaged over 10 points a game off the bench. That's good numbers in college. Especially with the amount of minutes that he's playing. So I don't like when grown men get upset, and I'm going to keep it real, guys, they act like bitches. You act like a bitch. That's what you just did. You act like a bitch. You're not gonna play him because of what his daddy said. I'm gonna show you. You a bitch.
We gotta be professional, man. I mean, you can't be that's no different than a parent coming to a game and yelling from the stands to the coach about, hey, put my son in the game. Okay, he's just talking. If your son deserves to play, he should play. Doesn't matter what the parent is saying. I agree with you, Jody.
I'm a little opposite because the reason why I'm not coaching, but I had 2 offers to coach high school basketball this year, and I just said I can coach like a prep where the parents are nowhere around. It's the parents I don't want to put up with. I'm a big fan of, like, even when I was coaching 8th graders, I always tell parents this: the beginning of the season, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna have a meeting with y'all. This practice is closed. None of y'all are welcome, and I don't respect none of your opinions. I'm going to do what I'm going to do in my program. And what you're welcome to do is, if you don't agree with something I'm doing, I don't want to hear about it. You're free to take your kid and go wherever you want to go. So if you want to do that, parents got to understand that coaches recruit families. Like when you go to high school games and it's that certain family and they hood and they ghetto, I've watched actual people who was trying to give a look like, I'm not trying to deal with that. I think parents need to be more accountable. What you think you're doing for your kid, I think you're really hurting your kid. Whether it's right or wrong for the coach, Carmelo is hurting his son by the things he's saying. Now, whether it's right or wrong, that's up to somebody else's opinion. But you're free to take your son wherever you want to go, and you can shut up about it.
I'm gonna say this before I get the mic, and that'll be the final one. The problem I got with that, Donald, is Carmelo was speaking. He's a former alum. He played, so he can say, just like at the North Carolina Duke game. I'm pretty sure it was people in the North. Antoine Jameson was on that sideline. Am I correct, Mike? If Antoine Jameson say, Hubert, hey, what the fuck is you doing? He's a former alum, Donald. I get what you're saying, but sir, if he wouldn't have went to Syracuse, I would understand. He's a Syracuse alum. That's what. Go ahead, Mike.
That's that media thing. He can get on and criticize me, but I can't do nothing back. I just got to be yes, sir, yes, sir. Hey, if you can say that about me, I got the right. You can't hit me because you basically, if you're saying I'm not making the proper adjustments, you're criticizing my coach. Cool, but you can't hit me because that's a hit. When you're taking a jab at somebody, you can't hit me and tell me how to hit you back.
Okay, but Mike, I'm gonna go to you when it's gonna be the final. I know y'all got to get going, but Mike, you seen a lot of former North Carolina Tar Heels on that sideline, right? If any of those guys had anything to say about Hubert Davis, who is a former NBA and a former Carolina Tar Heel, you can't take it out on a player. Like, okay, let's if Boozer, his sons play, his other son don't get no action, you think, come on, man. Go ahead, Mike. I'm sorry, go ahead.
There's no circumstance where a child should be punished for the behavior of the parents when it comes to athletics. You can write it up however you want to. You can pour as much hot sauce on as you want. You can put as much syrup on that shit as you want to. It's not going to make it pancakes. It's going to make it stir over shit. And so I totally felt like Adrian Autry, who was a Syracuse alum, a Syracuse great. I love Adrian Autry, the basketball player. And I know coaches on that staff right now. Griff used to coach over at UD, and we had a good relationship while he was here. And we're still friends on Facebook. So I'm really sad to see that there's about to be a lot of infighting in Syracuse, because I can tell you right now, Adrian Autry ain't going to outlive Carmelo Anthony on that sideline. I can assure you of that. So don't take a butter knife to a gunfight, because you might draw blood, but my friend, it ain't going to end well for you. And so I hope these fences get mended. I think coaches shouldn't be so sensitive, just like players shouldn't be so sensitive. If we fucking losing, we fucking losing. When I took over schools and the teams were bad that first year, I couldn't do nothing but go ahead and eat how bad we were that first year because we were bad. Now, gave me motivation, made me work harder so that we wouldn't be bad the next year and to become a better coach, just like I want my players to be better. But if the coach is crying and the coach is acting like a bitch, what you think the player is going to do?
That's true. Andrew mic'd up said parents have ruined the youth sports. Period. It's sad. These parents are delusional.
It's over with.
Like
I'm telling you, it's
but
over.
Donald, and I'm this is my last, and I'm gonna be done with it. Donald, my thing is, I get what you're saying about that, but we're talking about a alum. Now, if Carmelo was me, and I didn't have, okay, I get it, but we talking about a guy that only championship that they have is when he fucking played. Let's call it what it is. All them great teams Syracuse had, and you do not want to lose Carmelo's son and he transfer out, because it's going to be a lot of people going to follow him. Trust me. They're going to follow. They like seeing his mama at the game. I'm just saying.
La.
But no, seriously. But you see what I'm saying, Donald? I get what you're saying, but Donald, you got to have a thicker skin, and you can't take it out on the kid, especially when he's one of your better players and probably going to be a starter next year.
Well, if you want to help your son, you should shut up.
But
That's what I tell parents all the time. I do believe that. Are you letting me coach your? Because this is my thing. Are you letting me coach your son? Are you giving your son to me, or you're not? I really don't. I don't feel like you have. Oh, it's cool. You can say what you want to say, but I'm allowed to do whatever I want to do with my program.
But Donald, he's doing it out of spite. He wasn't doing it because of situational basketball. I see if the matchups wasn't there and you didn't play him because it wasn't a good matchup. He just did not play his leading scorer, who's probably going to be the ACC sixth man of the year. He's potentially could be the ACC sixth man of the year. You're not going to play him because of what his daddy said.
Because you want to public me. I promise you one thing about Carmelo. Anywhere on that Syracuse campus, he can get to. You can come in my office and talk to me about this if it's going to be basketball talk. You went where you went to publicly humiliate me, which you've been doing. And the thing is, you've been doing sucker stuff for the past year or so. I don't know if you done got to that 40 and you feeling, you may be getting in that media space, a lot of media space. Guys get older and become haters or whatever you do. You've been doing sucker stuff for a couple and more than one event. So I feel like if you would have came to me and said that, you didn't have to go to that platform and do it. This is my only platform I have.
So hold on, Donald. So you telling me if Stephen A. Smith criticized him, that's okay though, right? Because he
no. I don't think nothing Stephen A. Smith does is okay.
I'm just using him as an example. No,
I'm not saying it. I'm not saying it makes it okay. But Stephen A. Smith is smart enough to know it won't hurt Stephen A.'s kid by him doing it.
Okay, that's fair enough. Good stuff. Good debate. I love it. It's just crazy work. I still think it was a bitch move, Donald. I think that was a bitch move. Just me personally. Like, I'm not gonna not play my best player because what I'm gonna do is I'm pretty sure he got Carmelo's. I would have called the nigga up. I would have been like, Melo, what's good, man? Meet me somewhere. Let's have lunch. That's what I would have did. But I'm not gonna not play him and lose a game because I'm trying to prove a point to this motherfucker. Like, I'm not doing it.
If we working together, this is work. So they have a business relationship. That's what it is. Playing for a team. I promise you. If I have something like if I say, hey, Mike, so Jody, hey, man, you on the show saying some bullshit. I'm not going to wait till we get on the air and be like, hey, your fault or this, and this. I'm going to tell you that like a man.
You need to tell Mike that then.
I'm going to tell you that. I'm going to tell you that like a man to you. Because if we're trying to accomplish a common goal, it makes no sense for me to go publicly and tear you down and point out what you're doing wrong. Because in a way, you're bullying me to do what you want me to do.
This is sounding real Dukish right now, and that'll be part of my final.
I'm just saying it's real. It's realistic.
Nah, I feel that. That's good. That's good debate though. Let's go ahead. Let's get about here, man. I know we stayed over a little bit longer than we normally would, but we ain't about to watch the fucking Kansas game because the player that we want to see ain't even on the fucking court. I know Arizona probably is Arizona whooping their ass.
They're starting to pull away.
Yeah, Arizona gonna beat the shit out of them. So I guess I was right on that one. I'm just.
It's another Malice in the Palace going on. It ain't in the Palace, but it's the Pistons.
The Pistons just
they were throwing real punches too, bro.
Yeah, they just got in a brawl.
They were throwing real punches.
Beef stew always do beef. Just tell fucking Beef Stew to go fucking to the MMA. Like, god damn, he's always want to fight somebody. God, he was playing basketball.
Yeah, go play in the 90s, bro. This ain't the place where people can't play.
I'm not about to lose no whole bunch of money because I'm about to fight somebody. That's crazy work. Hey, Mike, man, we about to get up out of here, man. Give me your final thought as we get out of here.
Well, as we try to, great thing about college basketball is you can have a big win on one day, and then you got to get ready for the next game coming up. And as we're trying to transition through that in Carolina, we're confronted with more sour grapes and more whining from down the street. We've got a coach who team blew the game, blew the lead, and now he wants to suggest that one of the coaches or one of the players was hit by the fans that stormed the court, blah, blah, blah. However, there's this thing called cameras, like all cameras from everywhere. And there's not one video been produced of anybody on the Duke staff being harmed in any way whatsoever. It was very Coach K-ish. That's what John Shire is about. And so not only do they lose the game, they try to take their sour grapes and make wine out of those sour grapes. When all they got to do is just wait a couple weeks and try to keep us from kicking that ass again in Durham and get their points back. Don't make it something that is not. Don't act like Adrian Autry and make it something that is not.
That's great. Donald, I'm going to let you go next because I don't know if you're going to rebuttal, but Donald, what's your final
No,
thought?
I was going to talk about, I kind of was, I was just watching the Super Bowl, and it's been a quarterback who has 4 terrible games in a row. And I was just looking back like, damn, where did this guy come from? And just so happened he attended a certain university, and I don't know what it's called or anything, but just know that's kind of what happens when you come from a certain.
I know you won't win the MVP in the finals if you come from a certain school either.
Y'all petty as shit. I can't wait till y'all play again. Soul Sports, give me a final thought as we got here.
Final thought, man. It looks like Mark Cuban's about to buy the Mavericks again. The rumors out there, him and some group putting money together to get the Mavericks back. Because that new ownership don't know what the fuck they're doing. Fans are leaving. They trade generational players for nothing. So hopefully this goes through and he offers them a good amount of money, and so we can get back to winning. Because right now I don't see it happening. So hopefully Mark Cuban can get back in the front office and straighten this whole thing out.
So do you get Luka back at the end of that contract?
I don't want him back. We got Cooper Flag, baby. It's Flag Day every day.
He should have never gave up or relinquished fucking ownership. That's crazy work. And then he said, Duke, we knew what school he went to. So Larry, we knew that's just them going back and forth. My final thought is this: the NFL season is adjourned, guys. It is over. The Seattle Seahawks are the champion. But you know what's interesting to me is now we get ready for the combine, and how the fuck there's no football being played on the collegiate level or any sport where you are right now, you're the number 1 pick, but by the time you get to the goddamn draft, you done fell to the 5th round. Please, somebody tell me how you drop in the draft when you haven't played any fucking football since goddamn college is January. So this is the time of the year where you're going to see guys that get 40 times, put them in the first round. You're going to see 40 times, take them out of the first round. You're going to see when guys want to throw in the draft, the combine. You're going to see when people don't. You're going to see when people go to pro day. But I'm a big component on how the fuck do you drop in the draft when you ain't did shit. That's what I don't necessarily understand. And I'm hoping that this year is a little different. We saw a catastrophe last year with a guy we know was not a 5th round pick, but he's getting treated like he's a 5th round pick. Shador Sanders. I hope we don't see anything ever in my lifetime like that again. I know people like it happened before. Well, we know this guy wasn't no damn 5th round pick. I don't want nobody to be made an example of. Like, goddamn, if he good, he good. If y'all don't think he that good, that's cool. And Tim Hasselback, I hope Shador's make you eat your words, man. Because I've never heard a 5th round, since he's a 5th round draft pick. Tim Hasselback said that no team, he shouldn't be. He basically said he's not even a top 64 quarterback in this league. So that means he said he shouldn't even be a backup in this league. That right there is irresponsible as a take. And I hope that Shador's can go and prove you wrong, because there's a lot of people that just say whatever the fuck they want to say. And I'm not saying you can't, and that's Tim Hasselback's right. And I'm not going to even go into his career or whatnot. But to sit up here and say he's not even 64, top 64, but he ended the season by beating Joe Burrow and Aaron Rodgers, and both of them teams were trying to win. That gotta count for something. Not that that's not gonna put him up there as a Super Bowl winning quarterback like Sam Darnold or anything like that. But goddamn, to say that he can't even play in his league, and you know he got the worst offensive line and the worst wide receiver core, and David and Njoku ain't coming back. Come on, man. We gotta do better. But it's cool. That's my final take. Great show, man. We will be back tomorrow at 7:30. I'm your host, Jody Coleman of Against the Grain Sports Podcast. Uncut, man. We're here with my man, Jarrell Solo Sports Glenn, all the way from San Antonio, Texas. So I'm telling you, YouTube, Blue Blur. You will not be disappointed.
I'm going to look that up.
Got my man, Michael the People, Sam Perry, sporting the Sam Darnold. He has been his favorite quarterback. I will give him that. I'm a little upset that he tried to play like he was saying it before that. But I'm going to let him slide because he is our guy. But he has been his biggest cheerleader, so I will give him that. We got Ray Moore, just a barber. Lindsay in his absence. Donald was just here. I think he lost connection. Donald, the voice of the youth. Andrew mic'd up, stopped in. Jason the hefty lefty, getting ready for the tournament up here with my nephew. So he'll probably be back when it gets to March and April when Little Peanut is back. I think he'll be playing AAU by that time. And then we can't do none of this without Jay Kane and Chef cooking it up in the kitchen, man. So I'm going to let you go ahead and do the honors, man. What we doing until tomorrow, man?
We working, baby.
Hey,
See y'all
Jody,
tomorrow. Yo.
we're gonna get Donald some real Wi-Fi, some of that UNC Wi-Fi, so he can be on to the end of the show.
Hey, you crazy. Y'all are petty, man. See y'all tomorrow.